happening in here? Hello and welcome to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines Part 7. That's this number-ish that you can kind of see. Really, and by that I mean you have to count the fingers to figure that out. Is it really cannibalism if you're a vampire? I say it's not. But thank you so much there for the resub as well, Lunch Snake. 20 months, holy damn. We are into, well, we're already in the double digits, but now there's a 2, which makes the double sound cooler. So thank you so much for that, Lunch Snake. I super duper appreciate that. Obviously enjoy having all the emotes, the suddenly dead awkward silence that Pretzel has given me. Pretzel, you dick. And the soundboard and the sub chat and all the other fun things that go with that. But thank you so much. I do super duper appreciate it. That's such a long time to support my insanity. Thank you. But the clap, yes, the clap is the best part. And hello, everybody. Hello, Sleepy, Aussie, Shadow, Lunch Snake, obviously, Corvus, and Barry, of course. We're double digits. Exactly, the double digits. I'm feeling especially dark and evil and gothic tonight, so this stream should be good for me. Oh, fantastic, Sleepy. We've come at a great time, then. I'm very excited to get into this. I've spent the morning playing Sniper Elite 5 with Corvus, so I've had to shoot things from very far away, so I'm looking forward to killing things up close and personal. But that should be quite fun. Where am I? I'm here. Sorry, I was trying to figure out where I was on the screen then. Pretzel, shut up now. You can stop. Oh, the next one was Left 4 Dead. That's going to be exactly how this game goes for me. That will be quite brilliant. Oh. That's a strong smell. Got the emo hair and trench coat? Oh, that's a good question. Sleepy, have you got the emo? I would love it if, like, I know you probably don't, but this would be fantastic if this was the case, Sleepy. If, like, when you're feeling, like dark and gothic and evil, you do have, like, an emo wig that you pull out and you put it on, and, like, a big trench coat and stuff like that. And, like, you have, like, your normal hair underneath, but, like, when you go dark and evil, you're like, get my anime evil hair out. Bring it to me. And, like, you complete the picture like that. That would be brilliant. Kind of trench coat, not yet. I love trench coats. I have a very good trench coat, actually. So, for those who do not recall where we are in our lovely Malkavian journey, why is the music so loud? I hope you can all hear me okay. We did the boat. So, we actually managed to do the boat quite well. And we're meant to go to Hollywood now, I believe. Or we're going to go to a Malkavian mansion. So, we're going to go find, like, the daddy Malkavian of the group. Like, our clan leader or something. And we're going to do shenanigans. But before that, I figured we could try this car park, because I have, in downtown, I have Fat Larry, businessman extraordinaire, wants you to acquire a briefcase being exchanged between Tong and a local gang. The exchange will take place in a nearby parking garage. Get the briefcase undetected if possible. So we're going to put Daddy Malkavian. So we're going to, I think we will try that. For those, some of you may remember that we tried that last time and it ended badly. I died a lot and that was sad. So we gave up, but we're back now because I upgraded our invisibility. Look, we've got 3 on obfuscate, also known as invisibility. Been switch party, normally a stronger nationals cause farmers, but I could at least switch to independent who is ex-shooters fish, who is ex. Right, that being said, I'm not for nationals. You're just interested in the results to see what happens. It's always interesting with political, like, especially when you see a swing coming across and you're like, where is it going to go? Why are we nervous, Corvus? Is it because of Daddy Malkavian? But, so, now when I'm invisible, everyone, this is fun. So, on the third one, we may move invisibly while we're crouched. Be careful not to touch anyone or containers, or you'll be revealed. Additionally, any melee or unarmed attacks that break, obfuscate. 3 will gain a 50% damage bonus. I feel like a child trying to pronounce that word, but it's several letters together that I struggle to say. We'll gain a 50% damage bonus. Costs 1 blood per activation, lasts 22 seconds. So we have an extra 2 seconds of invisibility. It sounds like, the way you said that, Lunch Snake, it sounds like a neckbeard trying to, like, Milady or Malkavian. Why does wireless charges make your phone movement more limited? You just watched that TikTok. You people and your TikToks. Oh, I'm going somewhere. I'm going into the hole. Excellent. But yes, how has everyone been? I hope everyone is going well. This is, so I have to crouch. And then we can turn invisible. And I believe the way we want to do this is we want to go all the way downstairs. Goodbye. You can live. I'm letting you live. This is me actively choosing to let you live because I am a good person. I do good people things like give to charities and not murder other people and donate blood. It's just that when I donate the blood, it's from the person to me. And when I give to the charities, I'm the charity. And when I say I don't murder, I don't murder already dead people. That's how good I am. Obfuscate. Thank you, Lunch Snake. Obfuscate. I've got to say it's like obfuscate. Don't be good, be evil. Be evil? Alright, be evil. I'm not good, I'm very evil. I do things like bake babies into loaves of bread and then sell that to school children. That would be evil.
Every day you're closer to becoming a supervillain.
I don't think I can ever take that quote off the soundboard. It's too accurate. Oh no, they're all coming for me! Okay, if we pause, then our obfuscate pauses. Obfuscate pauses. That's just gross. Well, it's evil, Sleepy. The evil can be gross. Look at Nurgle. Oh my god, why are we all next to me? This is not good. That's just gross. Nurgle's pretty gross. Alright, I think we've got to keep going down. I gotta be careful and watch the obfuscate. Maybe don't look at Nurgle. It's not great for your health. This is true. This is true. Nurgle is not great for your health. Is that door a way to go down? Is there more down? I don't know. Oh god. Am I still invisible? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can feed on this man. I'm gonna do a quick save because we're running low on blood and I want some more. Alright. So there's one person down. We got one down, everybody. They're patrolling. Am I meant to maybe go through the doorway? There was a door I saw. There's an exit. Additional parking that way. Well. No! Oh god, it's all gone to heck. That lasted about 5 seconds, didn't it? Stop shooting me, you wanker! I'm trying to be good and stealthy, and you're being very violent towards me. Go away! Go away! Go. No, I find no. That noise was sadness. That noise you heard just then. That was sadness. Nice. One down and one more to go. Indeed. No doors to get downstairs, just more ramps. Where's this ramp? Where's this ramp you speak of, Barry? What the? You can't shake me off. We did this in another reality. I like how he shook me off. You know when, like, you're just patrolling the area and you get bitten by a giant mosquito, so you just kind of keep patrolling the area. No, Nurgle is cuddly. Nurgle is not cuddly, Barry. Nurgle is the opposite of cuddly. Well, no. I guess, like... I guess you could cuddle Nurgle. Like, I'm sure you could, like, get, like, lost in some of his, like, pus sacks or something. Like, until they burst, they'd be kind of squishy. Like, you know those squishmallow pillows? So you could very grossly cuddle Nurgle. Is what I'm saying. Don't cuddle Nurgle. It's gross. Don't be a Nurgle cuddler, I think, is the best method.
You want to how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Barry, see, this is going up. You lied to me. You lied to me, Barry. You want to head to additional parking from... Oh, I want to head to additional parking. I need to stop zoning out around you. What? Yeah, I'm not a good person to zone out around. What was it? Poor Otter the other day during the role-playing game when he zoned out. Gotta say, Cowgirl Alpha with Ass Chaps is not very goth. What? How would I make it more goth, Sleepy? If I could make it perfectly goth, what would you do? Malkavians get the best outfits. They do get pretty groovy outfits. So Automod picked up Cowgirl and not Assless. Assless Chaps is fine, but saying Cowgirl, that's a no-no. Obviously, that's... Like, I'm sorry. Is Cowgirl does... Like, I understand. Like, Barry, the essential parking is not here. Can I feed on you? I just want more blood. Like... Oh, here's the ramp. You didn't lie, Barry. I'm sorry for accusing you of lying to me. But you're a robot. I can't trust you. That's the #1 step of not trusting a robot, is you don't trust them. If you start trusting a robot when you're not meant to trust them, then you've already failed before you begun. He can cross clams on his chest. Cowgirl is a very intimate word for a special position. I know! You know what? Okay, Sleeper. Yeah, you are correct there, aren't you? Like, I guess that is what it's thinking. Like, what are you? You've come into this thing. You're like just explaining positions and. It would just never occur. Like, I guess because of the context of the game, my brain just didn't go there. My brain was like, yeah, I'm dressed like a cowgirl. But alright, Twitch. At least you've cracked why that got picked up. To be more goth like a cool goth vampire, you need a trench coat, perhaps a black flowy dress. A black flowy... What if I don't want a black flowy dress because it's impractical? And hello, Drawber, how are you going? You've not missed much. I'm in a parking lot. We've managed to suck 2 people dry. And that's about it. I'm going to try for a 3rd. Come here. Don't go with your friend. Don't go with your friend. Don't go with your friend. No, no! You... Stupid friend. Next up, Tessa reads Kama Sutra Steam. Oh god. Can you imagine? Like, I'd have to keep censoring it and I'd be like, oh no. Oh my god, Barry, how far down is this? I blame you for this level design, Barry. I need to blame someone, and Barry seems like the easiest person to blame here. It's so far down. And I'm so done with sneaking. Stealth is not my forte, and here I am having to stealth all the time. Just, it's so far down. Oh my god. At least I can probably suck this person. Alright, keep going. Reading up on the founding vampire Tizimichi is OP. What did they do, Drawber? What did the founding vampire do that makes them OP? I believe the Ventura clan gets that, so you're not wrong. The cool... Well, no, like, that's the cool thing. Oh my god. No, go away. I want to eat this man. Leave. Shoo. I have people to consume. People are so impolite when you're trying to feed. It's just very, very rude. Look, this man's... Look, he obviously wants you to leave. He's too cool to stand on the ground. Look, he's floating. He doesn't need your help. He's floating or very carefully balancing. So I'm going to try to eat you now, and I need you to allow that to happen. Don't you stare at me. Thank you. I was running low on blood. How handy. Nom 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 nom. They are unalarmed. I like that. Like this. Oh, there you go. Oh, no, maybe not. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, look around for someone who doesn't exist. It's fine. Go on. You won. Keep doing it. David Blaine. You killed David Blaine. I'm glad I killed David Blaine. The Suicide Clan founder can basically regrow himself from any of his descendants. Oh, well, like he grows out of it like a tumor. Like one day one of his descendants is like, oh, what's this lump I feel? That's weird. I'm a vampire. I don't get lumps. And then the lump gets bigger and then eventually it just spurts out of them. Is that how that works? You look like a vampire cowboy stripper. I do see Pancake. It's great. If you look in my character. There we go. It's my outfit. I have assless chaps. We assume it's, to help with my invisibility. There's less sound, you see. Because the material can't, like, that's why my character walks with a large squatting motion so that none of the cloth can rub against each other. So it's all to help with my invisibility. And how are you going, Sea Pancake? I hope you're going well. That's pretty cool. That I killed David Blaine, or that a vampire can regrow itself from, like, tumors. Less like a tumor, more like a putrid birth. Oh, wait. So, like, which end does it come out, Lunch Snake? Are you made of flesh? Timothy wins. Oh, nice. So it's basically like, if you're made of flesh, he wins. Which end do you come out when you'll be, like, when, does it kill the vampire? By the way, Lunch Snake. Or are there a bunch of, like, is there a group of people, like a group of vampires, I should say, who get together and, like, it's a Tizmichi, like, support group, and they've all given birth to, I'm just going to call him Tezzy. They've all given birth to Tezzy, and they're like, where did you give birth to Tezzy? And, like, they all have to share their PTS drama of giving birth to Tezzy. Is that, like, a thing? The clap of your ass cheeks doesn't alert the guards. That's why we have to walk with a giant squat in the game, so our ass cheeks can't clap together. You're existing. How are you? I'm going quite well. I'm trying to find out about Mr. Tizzy here. And his rebirth process. Tremere is the only one that fight, Mr. Tizzy. That can. The wiki did not elaborate, but it got explicitly referred to as a birth. Well, like, because in South Park, there is an episode where they eat food and they make it come out the other end. So I'm just wondering if, like, they can give birth by vomiting up the baby. Actually, a better example would be in Ash vs. the Evil Dead, the television show. One of them has to give birth to, like, it's a guy, and he has to give birth to demon children, and he vomits them out. So I'm wondering if it's like that. That episode is so gross. It really is gross. It's possibly one of the grossest episodes. That man walked right by me. Including 9 months of pregnancy. Really? 9 months of pregnancy? So, like, they, like, and it shows and everything? Like, you're a vampire, and one day you're all classy and everything, and everyone thinks you're amazing, and then the next day, like, the next few months, you're slowly getting more pregnant, and the other vampires are, like, storing a bit of blood there, aren't we? What are you, a camel vampire? And then you just give birth to Mr. Tizzy. Whose briefcase do I want? Also, how can I steal when they hold briefcase? Oh, I know what I can do! Ooh, I've got a plan. Oh, hang on, never mind. I think this is what I want. Oh. Well, this is happening. Oh my. How very violent. Well. Steal all the briefcases. I know, right? I was like... Who wants to be left standing? I'm a thirsty vampire. This is fun. Oh no, now I have to go drink you. Sir, could you hold still? Me thirsty. Are you all friends? I can't have that. I only need one of you. Thirsty, thirsty, thirsty. Thirsty, thirsty, thirsty. No, get back here. Thirsty, thirsty, thirsty. Get back here.
Stop, man.
Oh no! No, 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 no! No! Well, this is a bit of a pickle, isn't it? Does the game let you commit a dialogue? I don't know, actually. Does it? So I got detected, which is annoying because I went through all of this stealthy. So let's go back to where I saved because I refuse. Now that I know what I can do. If I go up that ladder, will I be able to go up? No, I probably won't. Alright, so they're going to get all angry at each other and start shooting, so I can just exit the building. I thought I could maybe get some more blood from them, but no. Oh, was a founder at first, but instead on the founder and got blood magic out of it. Blood magic seems cool. Like, especially when you compare it to, say, the people who had to become the Nosferatu. The blood magic seems the coolest. One of the coolest. This parking garage looks like the kind of place I would get lost in. It's a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare. I'm just gonna let them do their thing here. Can I drink off you, do you think, sir? You look pretty distracted. Well. Bye. Alright, off we go, everybody. Why don't kiss your generation? You drain a low generation vampire of their blood and soul. Oh, I don't know. I don't think we can feed on the other vampires. But again, I could be wrong. Is that a possibility, everyone? Can I just run this? Is everyone else gone? I think everyone's gone downstairs. I don't think I have to crouch walk away anymore. Yeah, this is fine. And we've still got plenty of blood left. I probably did yet count it as being seen, but that's fine. I'm ignoring it. Hooray! Look, we did it, everyone! We got the suitcase. Does Larry want it back? You've acquired the briefcase Larry sent you for. Time for a special delivery to Fat Larry. And then apparently Fat Larry will give us something. And then we should go to Hollywood, everyone. It shall be grand. It shall be a fun vampiric time for us all. Oh my god, this parking garage. Who's parking here? There's nothing in downtown. It's really big. It's a very small place. There's like the asylum. And there's so many car spots. Was this once a hip and happening place? Like, people would come down to like the local jazz bar or something and they'd all get, you know, jazzy with it. And has it just fallen through? Come on. Onwards we go. Because I swear to God, like, there's no real attraction in this town. Like, there's the sad carnival with the carcass stuffed up there, but that's, you know, hardly an attraction. You're not, like, allowed to just come visit it. Although there used to be a thing at carnivals, they'd have corpses and you could come up and just stare at the corpse. And be like, do you want to see a dead person? Come this way. Fat Larry, where are you? Oh, Fat Larry. I think he's this way. They'd all get jazzy with it. Exactly. There's a haunted hotel. Well, you know, you are right. There is a haunted hotel. So maybe they have a large business of ghost hunters coming in. And the good thing is, do you know what? I actually, if you look at that, if ghost hunters are the people coming in to this town, and they're the lifeblood, right? All the vendors and parking spots get paid for by ghost hunters. I actually did a good thing by trapping that ghost, for all eternity with her dead husband who's trying to murder her, because now the hotel is going to be haunted forever. If I had actually not given the amulet, then the ghosts would have been free to move on to the afterlife, and then everyone would come here and they'd be like, this hotel isn't haunted, and then no one would come and everyone would die, and it would be sad for everyone. Except I just realized that we're actually not in the place that I was thinking of, so there's actually a lot in this place for them to park in. Never mind, I take back me being a good person. I am not.
Baby
Hello.
girl.
Wow, I'm gonna eat you for that. I have your clam full of secrets. Enjoy.
Pass it in,
Oh, you
girl.
must
Yeah, that's
really like
beautiful.
me.
Everything looks in order. Somebody somewhere got to be pissed off by losing this. Too bad I sent my main girl here after him. All right. Let me peel off a few bills for you. I'll just drop this off to the new owner in the morning. Then I'm gonna get me a big old steak. Not that domestic stuff neither. I'm gonna order up 32 ounces of Kobe beef, the expensive shit. You wanna come? My treat.
Sorry for whoever just gifted that and me taking a moment there. I just didn't want to talk over the dialogue. But thank you so much, whoever gave out that wonderful gifted sub. I do super duper appreciate that. And it's gone to Former as well. I'm sure when Former next logs in, that he'll be very excited to have that. That is very, very kind of you. Anonymous, huh? What's your Barry? But... the suspicious, Barry is suspicious of the very kind person. Thank you, very kind person. I reserve my days for the dark dreams of troubled minds. I am gone. It's suspicious. It's suspicious, is it? Well, I thank the suspicious person then. I thank you for your venting services, you sus individual. Larry, I didn't want your stupid money. I wanted something cool. No, shut up. I wanted something cool. I thought he was going to give me something cool. But he didn't give me anything cool at all. I wanted something cool, like an outfit. Garbage. Garbage, Larry. You gave me garbage is what you did. You just gave me money. What good is money? What can I do with money, Larry? What can I do with money? You have nothing cool. Go away, Larry. You've disappointed me. This is my disappointed face, Larry. This guy's neck is so large that he is actually immune to vampires. That's true. I can't bite into the veins.
Well, you must really like me.
Even 30 for the goal. Oh my gosh, Lunch Snake, so thank you so much for 3 gifted subs. It's gone to execute me. I love that name. Athica and Lukai as well. That is absolutely... thank you so much, Lunch Snake, on top of your resub as well. That is incredibly generous of you. I'm sure they're going to be very, very pleased when they see that. But thank you so much. All the insanity is encouraged. Even 30. And you guys have a hype train starting up there. That is awesome. Oh, how have you been over the church near... how have you been over to the church near Larry? This church? This one? Yes, I have been. Oh my god, see Pancake, have a look at this. Oh, Drawber. So, you know how the chains are going flippity-floppity in here? So Drawber pointed out the other time that the game was tweaking out. Apparently the chains do that whenever you're a Malkavian. Why can't I... oh, I'm crouching. No, is that not it? Okay, well, I feel weak and insecure. I can't get in there, but that lady has my money. Okay, I just shifted through the door. This is fine. Criminal violation? What? What criminal violation is this? I've done no criminal violation. Lying scoundrels.
Right here.
Go into the gap near the gate. Oh, the right when you enter the courtyard. Oh, on the right. Oh, okay, hang on. I shall do that. May the pilgrim's name. Very annoying to that.
Come here, boy. Stay there, boy. Sit down, boy. Stand up, boy. Speak up, boy. Go for the soldier you won't destroy. Drop him in the ocean and float like, boy. Come here.
And thank you so much there for the Kratos Barry as well. That's gotten the hype train going. So thank you guys for the lovely hype train as well. Her shirt has a lot of personality. Yes, very much personality there. So much personality, it can barely be contained. It's why most of her shirt isn't there anymore. It had too much personality, decided to self-destruct. How are you going, Mr. Villain? Electra as well, how are you? You had someone who was blocking the turnstile from turning for you. But that's their fault, Electra. If you stand in the way of a turnstile, it's your fault if you get hit. Might as well tip it over to Hype Train. Thank you, Barry. Personality. I like that pun. I like that pun. Personality.
Nice night out, huh?
So, question. How long does it take for the police to get bored of me? And how can I tell if the... because I'm going to walk out and the police are going to be all like, meh, 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 meh. But like with guns, and it's going to be annoying.
But if you feel like I feel, I got the antidote. When you wave your pantyhose, sing the chorus, and it goes. I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady.
Oh my god, I forgot we had that sound on the soundboard.
Please stand up, please stand up, please stand up. Cause I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim Shady please stand up?
Lovely evening.
Oh, I forgot we had that one on there. Thank you, Lunch Snake. It's been ages since I'd heard that one. How long do you think they're going to be mad at me, the police? How long are the police mad at me for? Because I don't want to have to go back and open another set. Like... Stupid police. It was only a small violation. For US police, it depends on whether you're white clan or black clan. If you're black clan, your clan curses that they are always mad at you. That is very accurate. I wonder how... Oh, where the hell am I? I'm here now. This is fun. Also, the gift subs brought me over the edge for a channel points thing. Oh, fantastic! Redeem a game. Carrion the game. Carrion is the game where I think we... Is that the one that I did play on stream already? Because there was one, and I think it's Carrion, that I played, because we had a breakdown one night of all the games, and Carrion was the one I chose. Is that the one that I'm thinking of? Also, very quickly, is this the hotel where the person that I saved now lives? Metro Divinia, where you're a big spaghetti-looking monster. Yeah, that one. Okay, okay. So, technically, I have played some of it on stream. But I don't believe we got very far with it. So, I will play it again if you want. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, I can give that one a red hot go. Thank you for that, Lunch Snake. So that's going to be... I would just put a caveat... Oh, actually, because that will probably be a one-off stream. So... Okay, that's fine. That might... Because we've got Sleepy redeemed Resident Evil, and Resident Evil is going to happen once we finish Cult of the Lamb. So Cult of the Lamb is probably going to finish... Maybe not next week, but the week afterwards. Then it'll be Resident Evil. And what I might do is I might, on a Saturday, play some Carrion then. So I might do like a half Saturday for Carrion, a half Saturday for Masquerade. If you're okay with that, Lunch Snake, let me know. Because like obviously the Saturdays run a bit longer than my normal stream, so I might do a half. That way I can slot that in, because I don't want to just wait for me to finish Resident Evil and then do that, because I'll forget. But let me know. Yep, you're good with that? Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Also, that means you've got a higher chance of actually seeing me do it. So, Barry, is that the one where you're Barry, which... I'm surprised you've played it. Steam just says it's on your wish list. I believe I've got to update my Steam wish list. I have it on... It was either free on Xbox Game Pass, or possibly I got it free on GOG. That's the annoying... I wish there was a way to link all of the libraries I have across the different platforms, because I keep finding out I own games on, like, because since I have Amazon Prime, and I always collect the game every single time, and I'm on GOG, so GOG does giveaways, and I always collect the GOG thing, and then I'm on Epic Store, and I always collect the free thing from Epic, so I have, like, these insanely large game libraries on different platforms, and sometimes I end up surprised realizing, like, I actually own that game? What? Because I've just claimed it for free. Sometimes back before I even knew what the game was, I just saw it was a free game, so I took it. And thank you again for the hype train, everybody. Great work, emotes are being... Oh, we got them delivered to your supporters. That looks like new emotes I haven't seen before. Ah, cool. Alright, so where was the hotel with the lady who is my follower? Because I would like to see it. The police don't seem to be mad at me anymore, so that's nice. I think we spent enough time going around Skyline. Onwards we go, because I want to go to Hollywood, and I want to see what is it Hollywood I'm going to? I'm pretty sure. That would be the next place with the mansion. That was the place. Tour apartment is level 4. Oh, it wouldn't let me in, Barry. Level 4 was locked. I'll show you. So we'll go back. This is Skyline Apartments, yeah? Like, we're just there. Also, can I feed on my follower, and will she be okay? But, like, then where did I send her? Okay. Might not have access. That's fine. We can come back. We can come back to that.
Cemetery runoff congealing at the door.
Good whisper. Very good whisper. Let's go for a quick run. I kind of want to do an interesting fact, but I feel like I am stealing someone's drugs. Oh, Sphinx's drugs? Sleepy, feel free to steal it. Sphinx enjoys whenever someone does drugs, but also Sphinx can never make a Saturday stream because where he lives on Saturdays, they have no internet. So he will never ever be able to make a Saturday stream. So you can feel free to steal his drugs you like. I tend to tell him after it's redeemed anyway, or let him know what it was after somebody redeems it, so he eventually finds his way to drugs if he can't redeem it, as long as someone redeems it for him. Taxi driver man.
Need a ride?
Yes, you may take me for a ride. But very considerate. She'll be in Santa Monica then for now if you get your apartment. Ah, I see. Grout's... Oh, I'm not going to Hollywood at all. I'm going to Grout's mansion.
Death.
Wait. Is the mansion one of the places I want to go to? Give him his drugs later. Give him his drugs later? Fantastic, Sleepy. Let me just go through this cutscene and I'll deliver you the drugs. I think you guys will like today's drugs.
What are you doing here?
He of the numbered name.
Out now.
Huh, do you also seek the missing Malkavian?
You should get out of here. This place is bad news.
So am I.
Pardon me.
What secrets within these walls? Oh, he just left. Okay. He's like, I'm out. Wasn't there... Is this where... What's... No, this isn't the Giovanni mansion. Never mind. It's a mansion. Is no... Okay, you knew who I was talking about. Alright, so... The interesting fact. So the interesting fact today, everybody, it has to do with the Netherlands, aka the Dutch people. And it's the Eel Riot of 1886. Does anyone know about the Eel Riot of 1886? So what ended up happening was, back in the Netherlands, a very popular pastime used to be something called Palingtrekken. The Eel Riot, indeed. Palingtrekken, basically the way it worked was you would have a canal. So, you know, like in Amsterdam and everything, the canals going down through the streets and that. And you would tie a rope over the canal. And in the middle of the rope, you would have an eel tied, right? So there'd be an eel dangling down. And then men would get on a single, like a little rowboat, and they would try and row underneath the eel, and they would try to pull it down as the boat went forward. Like went underneath it. Why do people like eels so much? Why do people like tentacles so much? I don't know about the eel ride, but I am intrigued. It's quite good. So basically, you've got an eel hanging there. The men go on a boat. They float underneath it like, ooh, eel, I'm going to grab the eel. And they try to grab the eel and pull it down. And if you manage to successfully pull the eel down, it is alive, by the way, while it's tied up. So it's all wriggly and like, I'm going to bite your fingers because I'm tied up and I've got nothing else to do and I'm an eel. I can't exactly punch you, is what the eel would say. Presumably. But if you manage to successfully pull it down, they give you like a good sum of money and you go off and you're like, hooray everyone, I pulled the eel down. So it was a very, very popular pastime in the Netherlands. Now, by the 1880s it had been outlawed, so they'd made it illegal to actually pull down the eel because it was seen as basically being a cruel and low form of entertainment. So it wasn't just that it was cruel to the eel because the eel was alive, but like the upper class people who got to make the laws, they were like, this seems like a low, boring person treat. The poor people are having fun. Ban it. So it got banned, but it is a weird game. It's a very weird game, Sleepy. But basically, the Dutch people were like, you can't take our eels. You may take our taxes, our freedom, but never our eels. So they kept doing it. Now, the police did crack down. However, during 1886, the year 1886, during July, apparently sack racing also for a time was illegal. So, you know, sack racing where you hop in a sack and you race other people in a sack. That also, you weren't allowed to do that. And one Sunday, they had organized the sack racing, and the police turned a blind eye. The police were like, oh, let them have their sacks. But on the 25th of July, the following Sunday, all the people, having seen that they could get away with sack racing, were like, hey, everybody, why don't we do a cheeky game of Palingtrekken? So everyone gathered to the Lindengracht Canal, and they hung up an eel, and they were going through. Like 6 people had run through underneath the eel. Everyone was cheering, and then the police turned up, and the police were like, we're stopping this. They cut the rope, and so like the eel probably died because it was still tied to the rope, but now is dragged down to the boat at the bottom of the ocean. So the eel's probably dead. However, everyone is very mad in the crowd, and the crowd turned on the police. They dragged one man into a basement and beat him. The other police drew their swords and escaped and called in other police officers to try and like reinforcements to try and get the crowd to stop rioting. The crowd didn't. It wasn't until about 10 p.m. that night that they actually stopped. The police regained control in Amsterdam because the crowd went home. So 10 p.m. apparently in Amsterdam after that, they were like, you know what, it's time for bedtime, but we'll be back tomorrow. And they were back tomorrow. The following Monday, the riots continued. They got so bad that the police, basically wherever they were having things pelted from them from all the windows. All the civilians were basically in on it. The army had to be called in. They ended up barricading streets and all of this stuff, trying to get people to stop being angry at the police. At the end of the day, so all of Monday they raged. On Tuesday, everyone had gone, okay, we'll call it quits. I guess the eel's long gone. 26 civilians were killed because when the civilians threw things at them like muffins, they returned fire, the army and police, with bullets, which are far deadlier than muffins. Fun fact. So 26 civilians were dead, 32 were severely injured, and a countless number of other people were injured but not severely classified as injured. And this is actually one of the most brutal, like the worst cases of police brutality in Dutch history. So it is one of the most brutal cases of police brutality in the entire history of the Dutch people. So that is all because of an eel, because the Dutch people weren't allowed to go play with their eel and pull it down from a rope. The eel ride of 1886. They can take our eels, but they'll never take our freedom. William Wallace. Exactly. They'll take their freedom, but they can't take their eels. I thought this was in the Netherlands. I thought this was in the Netherlands, not America. Did I say no, it's in the Netherlands. When did I? Oh, I see what you mean with the police brutality. Yep. Now that took me a second. But yes, I hope you enjoyed those drugs there. Sleepy. Sphinx. I almost called you Sphinxy. I just blended you and Sphinx together then, Sleepy. Because I want to say both your names. That's a new ship name. Sphinxy. Sphinxy dear. Exactly, it was Sphinxy dear. Just talking to them both. Alrighty. Because the Dutch people couldn't play with their eel. Exactly. Because the Dutch people couldn't play with their eel. I'm just like, I was so surprised when that, oh, cute little rat. You're not rat Jesus, so we don't care. I was just so surprised. I'm just checking if there's anything I'm missing in the environment, because I'm trying to get better at actually observing the areas and not just going, oh, look at me, I'm in a new location, look at me, ignore all the cool stuff, ha 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 ha, as I commonly do in everything. I don't know why I've started doing that mocking voice for everything now. Does this rock do anything? It doesn't. I'm treating the game like an escape room at this point. Does this do anything? What if I touch this? What if I bring all the crates over in this one corner and stack them up? I'm going to ignore that. That's fair. Sleepy, that is very fair to ignore that. Feel free to ignore me anytime. I ignore myself at least 90% of the time. It's the only way I get a peace of mind. Alright, let's go inside. What was it the other day? Oh! This is fun. Why are you crying?
I'm not listening to you! Shut up! Shut up!
Oh. Hey! Can I... That wasn't fun. Can I have your mask? That looks very Hannibal Lecter. Cool. You already have this weapon. Well, I don't have their mask, do I? I want their mask. Give me your mask. Right, well, this is off to an interesting start, isn't it? Fun fact, whenever I went fishing, I actually caught a lot of eels, and they are really hard for me to retrieve the hook and throw them back because they keep wriggling around and they never lose energy. Eels are amazing. I actually love eels because they're basically just angry, like they're angry tentacles, and it's the best. But that would have been very annoying, Sleepy, when you're fishing and you kept catching eels. Eel tastes nice, though. Is everyone here insane? Quest log updated. You just entered Grout's mansion and something about it doesn't feel quite right. Well, actually, quite frankly, it feels more at home than ever. And hello, Lemons! How are you going? I hope you're going well. You just missed the interesting fact. It was about eel pulling. Oh, Vampire the Masquerade. My brother loves this game. Have always been on my wish list to play. It is so worth it, Lemons. There's if you get on like the PC, there's a fan patch you can download that makes it very stable and fun. If you go into the leftmost corner of the courtyard, spin around 3 times, and input the Konami code, you get a special message telling you to drink your Ovaltine. That would be absolutely fantastic if that happened, Lunch Snake. I hope everyone is having a great time. It was about what? It was about eel pulling. The Dutch like to pull eels down from a rope, and the police were very mad about it, so they murdered a bunch of Dutch people. I wanted to catch catfish, not stupid eels that keep wriggling around. You're like, I want the eels, one could say, catfished you. Because you throw your line and you're like, oh, I feel a bite. I think a catfish is coming. But it wasn't. It was an eel playing catfish. Hi, can I drink you? Oh, this is nice. Free dinners. Oh, wait, mate. I was having a meal there. Tosser. Oh my god. Okay. Everyone dies. You get a death, and you get a death. Everyone gets a death. I'm going to be the Oprah Winfrey of death. Come here. Yeah, you too, mate. Come on. Buggers. What annoying buggers they are. I'm here trying to get a healthy little drink. Oh my god, that looks amazing. I want to go through there. But this is meant to be a maze, right? So my understanding is whenever you're in a maze, whenever you're in a game in a maze, you should do the rule of left.
It is quite peculiar, the happenings I've been made to witness for my supernatural longevity. I am thinking of one unfortunate phenomenon in particular, of unique interest to my station, both as a professional and as a sufferer of this vampiric condition. It seems the stream of time has begun to erode the moorings of my chosen course of study, for the methodologies that gave birth to psychology are slowly disappearing. I find myself in an era that overlooks the physical component of psychological pathology time and again in favor of the sophistic practices of Freud. Phrenology, dactopintilism, and the rest of the old guard has fallen by the wayside, its champions all silenced in death, with my unique exception. Would that I could make my voice heard again, although it may be suspicious should I return to popular medical discourse 50 years after my apparent death. No, better that I continue my studies into the psychoses in secret. One day, may I hold up my own cure as validation of the methods. I am confident no cure for my condition, or that of my beloved wife, lies within our figurative minds, waiting to be unlocked by the correct combination of memories recovered from our childhoods. And I'm most certain it has nothing to do with the relationship between myself, my parents, and my Sorry, Sigmund, but I choose to stay my course. In time, too, may your star fade and disappear.
I like Grout. I like Grout so far. I've always loved the overall feel of this game, though. It's a certain vibe to it. It definitely has a very cool vibe to it. I was actually trying to think the other day. I was like, what games have I played like Vampire the Masquerade? And I'm sure there's some like it, but the vibe for this game is just very and I guess part of it is like it's always nighttime. You're always in the city. Like it feels like you're always in the city. It's just night. It's this different feel. I really, really like it. It's amazing. I like that Lynch Snake. I like that meme, that pun. But my favorite is the Overwatch one of that. You're doing okay? You're liking the fishing in Sea of Thieves. I saw you were playing Sea of Thieves on the Steam Electro, and I was like, oh, I thought you were playing Darktide. Did you give up on Darktide? And the fishing, I played Sea of Thieves exactly once, and it was fun, but I don't have the time to invest in Sea of Thieves. Okay, so my rule of go left has failed. I was like, I'm gonna stay left. That failed. That door's locked. Bro loves his own voice. He's a scientist. That's what they all love, Sleepy. Scientists love nothing more than to talk. It's like their favorite pastime. You in the field, 95 to 2005 vibe. Uh-oh, I need blood. That's not good. That's not good. Shh, don't do anything. Don't do anything. Stop that. Come here. The 95 vibe. His voice reminded me of Wes Johnson in Oblivion, to be honest. I obfuscate. Come here, come here, come here. I'm not crouched. Give me your precious blood. Oh, that's better. Yay! The assless chaps give it away. The assless chaps. Back in the 2005, remember when everyone was rocking assless chaps? You've returned with bubble tea. What flavored bubble tea did you get, Shadow? I like bubble tea. I don't have it often, but when I do, it's quite nice. Perception at once shapes the mind and rules over time. Time, however, erodes human perception and then in turn warps the mind. The mind is capricious, having various effects on perception. Time in the mind itself, with harmony, progress is made. That was a nothing sentence. This means nothing. You read this, and that's mystical nonsense. Bad scientist. Yes, I know you probably want me to pull the thing, don't you? Unknown. I want to touch the unknown. Item gained unknown. Bloodstar. All kindred have the innate power to push their undead bodies to the height of mortal capacity, but only for a moment and at dire cost of blood. This eldritch talisman was crafted to boost this ability. Blood buff has twice the duration. Cool. Oh, I have blood bags. That's good to know. And money. I can't read anything. I need to put more in research. Can I... You know, I'm gonna holster this weapon. What did that do? Ooh, Guy Horace. Can I go up this? I'm assuming that one of those panels open this. Lychee, this one is especially a devil lychee lily from the alley, and it's black. Ah, that would be quite nice. I like lychees. Do you open up this? No. Okay, time to pay attention. She says, going to press everything else. Anyone have a solution to the Twitch video error? It's starting to get annoying missing things. What specific video error? The only thing that's ever worked at all for me is refreshing, but only sometimes. Are you on Google Chrome, Electro? Because if you're on Google Chrome, Chrome has some issues with Twitch. My only suggestion would be to try, change to Microsoft Edge or Firefox or something like that. Is the only way I've found to get around that. Myself? Oh,
Another unfortunate casualty to tide of time, insane asylums. I lament their loss not only as brokerage houses for the breadth and depth of human psychoses, but also I shall mourn the disappearance of that peculiar environment present only in an insane asylum. That palpable atmosphere of blistered brains and churning bowels, the odoriferous melange of freely flowing bodily humors, that gently rolling cacophony of distant sobs and screams, the muttered cursing at perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized, like a newborn babe discovering the sky. I shall still find test subjects as surely as I find bloody sustenance in the night, but this climate, I fear, may...
Okay, interesting ground. Yes, Chrome, but it's only started this last month. Just drops the stream to a black with a reload button saying video error. So my Chrome would do that on and off, Electro, so I think it's a Chrome thing, unfortunately. I've been in this game 5 times and still never do this puzzle properly. I just flail at all the levers until it works. So that's the thing. I was standing there, I was looking at this, and obviously you've got 3 different timers here. You've got brain, timer, and you've got the Eye of Horus. So I'm like, okay. Just to confirm, Barry, is the answer to this puzzle eventually I would be able to go up here and this would unlock? Because I'm looking and I'm like, alright, so if that's the thing, then I'm guessing this little guy is supposed to be the cipher, for lack of a better word. This is supposed to tell me what order I'm meant to press it in, yeah? Clearing the cookies cache can help a little. Yes, that can help a bit for it. So we have Eye of Horus, we have time, and we have brain. So perception at once shapes the mind and rules over time. So is it meant to be Eye of Horus? So sight, I guess, would be the other way to look at that. So sight, so perception, mind, and then time. So is that what we're supposed to be looking at? Is it supposed to go... Did that work? Is that supposed to open? That's right. 3 levers, get them all lit up. It opens another door, but not the one you think. All lit up. Oh, like that? Like that's lit up? So it's all meant to be lit up like that? So I need them all lit up. Okay. So can I turn that off then? Oh. Okay. That's fun. Alright, so that's somewhere out there then? That works, lol. It will show a scene, or once it worked, you won't miss it. Nice. See, flailing. I didn't flail, Barry. Okay. Could someone actually Google what the solution to that is? I just want to know. Because I'm assuming it's somewhere written in here is the actual way to do it. And I've just Talosed it into existence. See, flailing. That wasn't flailing, Barry. I systematically pressed the buttons.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Accidental winning indeed. The idea is that each pull changes others, but in a different ways. Well, yeah, I understand that it's meant to pull things in different ways. But my question, Barry, is like, obviously, it's not truly random, right? Like, the game's not randomized it, yeah? Oh, golly gosh. Yep, come on, buddy. Come on. Do you know how doors work? Yep, come on. Come on. This way. Come on. Are you... Okay, that wasn't what I wanted. There we go. I'm trying to feed on him. That's what I wanted to do. Firefox does it less. Edge, no idea, but I don't use it. I've had thoughts on old software, causing it browser installers. It worked previously for me. I found Edge works really well with it. When I do have to get around it, I found Edge, because like I do use Twitch in Chrome because I have everything in Chrome, but I have found what will happen is sometimes Twitch won't let me upload stuff for like the same reason as doing the error to you, Electro. So I have found the best ways just to change browsers if it's persistent. Doop 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 doop. Festy. Have you watched Hellsing Ultimate Abridged on YouTube? I haven't watched the Abridged. I've watched the anime. Like the actual animes, both versions of it. I should watch the Abridged. Everyone keeps telling me about how fun the Abridged versions of things are. And I just never get around to it. Actually, I should have some time tonight to try that. I'm so not used to looting. And then we can just eat you. It's funny, but goddamn do they drop some questionable language. Oh, I see. Some questionable language. So, we've come in this room. Look at that person. I think something's going wrong with their programming. Wow, look at those flare pants. The very 70s pants. That door locked. But yeah, I'm so curious as to that puzzle now. Like, what the correct method is like, are you meant to read the piece of paper and understand it from the piece of paper? Is this another puzzle? Was I not meant to murder everybody within sight? Sorry, my mouse has something on. Okay. So there's this. Oh, never mind. That wasn't very tricky, was it? Oh, there's somebody waiting upstairs. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh no, what's the upstairs person going to? I'm gonna be screwed when my magic doesn't work against someone. Oh, you're not even doing anything. I don't need to feed on you, but I'm choosing to. Line from that would be a great fit here. I'll try to find a clip of it. Ooh, I'd love to hear it. Yeah, that's what you're meant to do. The paper tells you which levers affect the others, but in a quirky, insane way. I just want to know, Barry, if I'd figured it out or not. That's all. I want to know if I truly understand the Malkavian mind. Isn't that how everyone looks when they take a nap on the couch? Yeah, when I nap on the couch, my pants morph into a different reality and dimension. They just get sucked in there. Bad. I don't like these guys. I don't like the gimp men because they attack.
Often I reflect with great regret on the missed opportunity that was my infector. Had I been conscious after the attack, I could have stopped the orderlies from locking her in the roaming pen. What I would give for just one interview, a few simple questions of the plague-ridden woman who met her end that dawn.
Ah, they locked her outside.
There's no guarantee she would have been any more helpful than my current crop of test subjects, mewling wretches. Few could be called enthusiastic. Given the nature of the tests, I cannot expect the same fervor from all, but a modicum of cooperation would be appreciated. Animals. The one called John went so far as to gnaw off his arm and escape into the floorboards like some feral rodent. I still hear him scurrying about at night. He must be making an atrocious mess in there.
That's funny. I like Grout. Grout's fun. And answer the question from earlier. Darktide has been given a break and needs someone to help teach, so going to let it sit for a while. Oh, fair enough, Electro. I'm sure if in the Discord we could set something up, because I'm pretty sure Corvus would be then more than happy to volunteer to help out, and I'd be happy to run in a game. I need to refresh myself on it to be quite frank. The game is so much fun, but Destiny and Overwatch took over my existence, so it's one that I've been meaning to get back on top of again.
My studies proceed at a languid pace. I'm mired in a foul...
I activate this card. Well, I activate this card. Then I activate this card. And I activate this card. Activate this card. I activate this. Well, I activate this. And I activate your mama. Then I activate...
How many
what?
nights I've wasted now, gazing from the tower wall.
Grout's like, nope, we're not listening to you, Grout. Goodbye. It's time for Yu-Gi-Oh! Plot of greed. The plot of greed. Just like halfway through, Grout's like, I activate this! Grout is very upset with us.
My studies proceed at a languid pace. I'm mired in a
But thank you for the
foul
lovely bits, though, Lunch Snake.
my wife's illness advances. My subjects grow restless without proper supervision, but I cannot pull myself back from this black depression. How many nights I've wasted now, gazing from the tower walk,
The front of existence. This is a nice view. This is a good view. Look at that. Lovely. Oh, another tower. More this is a cool staircase. Like, I mean, if I walked into somebody's house and they had the staircase, I'd assume I'm going to be murdered. But, you know, it's cool. Like, I can admire the murderer's architecture. It's neat looking. I'd love to have a place like this. Nom 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 nom. It looks cool, but creepy. You know, that kind of chic. And there they go. I like their masks. I'm guessing these are all the test subjects. This art style is so cool. It has very cool art styles. Like, this is... I really like the style that everything's drawn. Like... I probably am. Thank you, voices. Just all of it. Like, even like the decorative lamp here. I like this like this light, like the little cage thing for the light. Like, this is a cool ceiling. Like, this is an intimidating house. I like it. Like, this isn't a cozy house. It's just a cool house. Kind of gives me Amnesia vibes. Oh, like the game Amnesia. I can, like, from the artwork I've seen of Amnesia, I can see that. Come on, buddy. Bye. I'm sorry, I didn't actually mean... Ah! Stop it! Bad ladies, bad! Can I eat? One of them's trying to scratch me. Not working well for her. I love Vision of Death. This is so the staircase ate her. Well, she lives there now. This is such an OP power. I love it. Like, just everyone gets... Oh, this is neat. Ah. And I just got yeeted across the map. Yeah, definitely love the whole atmosphere the game has. It's such a good... They've done a really good job of wrapping you up in their little world. Like, I don't have anything that really pulls me out of it. I don't feel like the game... Like, the game at any point is jarring or going super meta or anything like that. Like, it's a game that just comfortably pulls you into the world that it's creating, and the storytelling is really neat, like the way they're doing it. So I really appreciate it. The characters I'm meeting that are the NPC characters that are important to the plot, each one of them actually feels like an individual character. So it doesn't feel like they've just gone, you know how like you play some games, I'm actually thinking like maybe Far Cry. Sometimes when you're talking to the NPCs in Far Cry series, a lot of them just feel like the same person. They're like, I'm random person number 6. I'm just like random person number 5, but I have a backwards facing hat. That's my individuality. Haha, hats. And you're like, okay, look, it's a nice hat, but I really don't care that much about you. Whereas in this one, every time I come across a new NPC that's important to the plot, it actually feels like this individual. So it makes the game feel like a complete world. This is quite random, but have any of you guys watched the NBC show Superstore? I finished a few months back, and it's quickly become my favorite comedy. It's so good to binge. I haven't actually even heard about that one, Lemons. What's it exactly about? I've heard good things about it. Far Cry NPCs are mostly set dressing for murder. This is correct. That is right. They are mainly just set pieces. There we go. Even the magic in this game, like each spell I'm casting, I don't know why I said it like that, casting, looks very distinctly cool. I think this is one of those games where you can tell that they actually took their time doing stuff. Like there's care put into it.
After decades of solitary study into this affliction, I have learned that it is by no means mine alone. Indeed, the city is home to an entire society of similarly afflicted individuals with whom I've only recently made contact. They are an understandably standoffish sort, by and large, but I have been able to confirm with them that the condition is indeed vampirism, which apparently comes in a multitude of strains, each with a spectacular set of symptoms such as invisibility and even a sort of lycanthropy. Through numerous official interactions with the governing body of this secret society, I have concluded that their fundamental understanding of the vampiric condition is woefully lacking and mired in suspicion and pseudo-religious dogma that would make a Turk balk for its strictures. Indeed, they seemed impressed with my studies and the eloquence with which I was able to present them. Apparently, the typical sufferer of my particular strain of vampirism is far from the vanguard of the King's English.
Hey!
So impressed were they that they even offered me an office in their government, a rather high office by the sound of things. I believe I shall accept. If nothing else, it should provide a lofty vantage point from which to observe the breadth and epidemiology of the affliction so that I may move more expeditiously toward a cure.
I'd 100% forgotten that this guy was a Malkavian until he just mentioned it then. Just because he's not as insane. Oh, wait. Oh. It just hit me that it's because it's because of the way that he does insanity. And Tweedark, thank you so much for the raid as well. I super duper appreciate that. Thank you. What game have you just come from, Tweedark? We're listening to a mad scientist who I just realized he's mad because he's treating vampires and humans unethically, and that's wrong. And it just took me until now to go, oh right, that's wrong. That's why he's insane. That's why he's the mad character. All up until this point when he's describing stuff, I'm like, that's a neato vampire. What a cool thinking he's doing. And it's just clicked in my head because we're the Malkavian race of the vampires, and we're all insane. And this guy's been very sane sounding, but it's in fact his actions which are insane. And so it's just clicked in my head. This is why I'm not a scientist, everyone, because I would already be locked up. It's awesome. It's similar to Brooklyn Nine-Nine or The Office. That's an ensemble workplace comedy. It takes place in an American superstore chain similar to Target, and it actually deals with a lot of interesting themes. Okay, that sounds right up my alley there, Lemons. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Was a community night, so we played golf. How are you doing? Ah, you played golf. Who won? Who won, Tweedark? Did you end up winning? If you're lost, look for buttons near the top of the fireplace. Fair, fair, fair. Oh, there we go, buttons. And thank you, Barry. And how am I going? I'm going quite well. Oh, that's why it looked like a mirror. We're going to do Visions of Death. So that's quite a fun game. I have this wonderful ability here where I can just cast death because I'm an insane person. So that's one of my abilities. You win quite a bit, lol. So you're quite good at the golf. Oh my god, can this guy get off me? So the crying women are okay because they just cry in a corner, but these assholes come up and the gimps just attack you. It's very annoying. It's very, very annoying indeed. And I forget, Tweeter. I think you did mention that you've... No, I don't think it... Like, have you played Vampire the Masquerade? I remember last we talked, there was Cult of the Lamb going, but I don't know about Vampire the Masquerade. I'm trying to recall. My apologies. I feel very rude. Normally, I do remember. I'm sort of wrapped. The vampire I've chosen to go, the race, is Malkavian, so we're all insane. So there'll be random whispering and things happening, which is quite a spot of fun. Oh my gosh. There you go. And Sleepy apparently hates the Raiders because Sleepy has decided to curse you all with a bad joke. But yay or nay, everybody, if you think this joke is funny, fair warning, they're usually not. What sort of... Oh my god, are you going to cry right now, game? The game is crying. The game knows what's happening. Andy Griffiths is happening. You done? You're done. What sort of tree has teeth? A gum tree. So let me explain what Andy's done here. You see, he's drawn a little picture of someone taking teeth from gums. And I don't think that quite showed, but That is by far disappointing. That you like that? A gum tree? What's the tree SD? Well, there you go. Lunch Snake liked that one. That's fair. That's one yay for the joke from Lunch Snake. And that's a boo from Sleepy. And obviously, I was quite booing that myself. You have not, Lo. I've been playing Bloodhunt a lot, though. And don't worry, I get it. I also have terrible memory. It's the wonderful memory thing. What do you think of Bloodhunt? So what do you think of the World of Darkness Vampires tweet arc? I've become... Because obviously World of Darkness is the overarching world where, you know, all these games are set in. You know what I mean by that. I'm really, really intrigued by the lore. I've been avoiding looking too deep into it for now because I want to do this playthrough without too many spoilers. But after I finish this playthrough, I'm planning on going a deep dive into the World of Darkness. Nay, because I didn't realize I picked it to make it worse. The picture actually makes it worse. The picture does make it worse, doesn't it? Ah, that's the little thing that I can open. Alrighty. Chaos, like the mind, can be understood only through the scientific process. Order, however, is only as good as the perception thereof. So chaos, order, and perception. Time is the key that links the two and bears witness the ebb and flow. You change your vote to nay after seeing the picture Lunch Snake? That is quite funny.
I have accepted the role of Primogen for Clan Malkavian, the dreadfully winsome label applied to the particular strain of vampirism I suffer, so named for some supposed vampire father figure of old. More poppycock grown from a backward culture that seems interminably drawn to children's tales and the fiction of Victorian romance, when it should concern itself with the science behind their suffering. No matter. For I have taken this office for no greater reason than to advance my research. I must make mention, however, that even among my would-be peers in this governing body of vampires, the level of paranoia and superstition is frightening. Their intelligence is not the question, no, indeed. As they courted me for this appointment, I had to suspect that their overtures were hand-tailored to what must be my obvious infatuation with reason, for the devil would do well to have such honey-tongued tempters. Even so, I could not help but notice the dressing of language these vampire leaders chose for their siren song. Whether it is born of habit, from addressing their unwashed, ill-educated subjects, or from their own deep-seated beliefs, their linguistic flourishes belie a faith in superstition over the providence of empirical reason that must be an all-pervasive theme in this society of darkest night. Damn it all, now I'm doing it too.
Right! Interesting. And my grandma was Irish. The only thing I inherited is the art of the Irish goodbye. Is that your way of saying you've got to go, Sleepy? Well, thank you so much for dropping by. I do super duper appreciate it. You have a fantastic rest of your time zone. Unless you've already done your Irish goodbye, in which case you're not hearing any of this at all. Alrighty, so. Wait. Telos sad. Telos went the wrong way. So go upstairs. I went too many times in a circle as I was listening to the man. So, because I touched... Didn't I open a door then? I've gotten distracted. It was too long between opening the door. Did the door open downstairs? Is that what's happened here? Is that why I can go down here? Yes, that is what happened. It went downstairs. Okay, onwards, everybody. Onwards to the next... Well, this looks heckin' dangerous, doesn't it? Can I just... No. No, I cannot just do that. Alright, so I've got to figure out how to turn off the power, right? Huh. Will that lever do it? I can see that there's another lever there. Can I cross it? No. Is it the floor that's electric, or can I jump over that? I'm just curious. Get ready for that death counter, Barry. I probably can't jump it, can I? But there does only seem to be two. No, there's more. And there's one there. Interesting. Interesting. So... Oh, I see. Can I go beneath... There we are. I see, I see. So now we're slowly opening up the way. I see, I see, I see. I was wondering if there was supposed to be a thing that I grabbed. Okay, slowly the puzzle comes undone. That. And over here, we've got we got an unknown item. That's great. I love unknown item. Frenzy check modify. Will you turn off? I feel like I need to go there. If I turn you all down. But you. Okay, that worked. Alright, through we go. More levers. More levers! Levers all round, everybody. This is truly a wonderful madhouse. Imagine being this guy, and every time you're trying to go from room to room, you have to go through every single one of these steps. It would be absolutely exhausting. Okay, now where did that one open? That was a big door that opened. Wait, can you go into them in the middle? I can go in the middle. They give you a lot of leverage. I like that. They give you a lot of leverage. I can't wait to get big and strong so I can lift all the corpses up. Ah, yes. The excitement of the corpses. Damn it, now I've got to remember which way I was going. So... it's a Talasy quote as it gets. Indeed, it is, isn't it? It's a very Talasy quote. So we came through here. We opened up a door in some direction. I gotta remember where. Haha, funny internet number. The best quote. So where... I know it just showed us a cutscene, but I'm very bad at remembering where I was. So I'm guessing it's somewhere through here, maybe? Was... that opened up there. Was this door maybe the one? No, it... Oh. Something happened. Oh, I hear people. Okay, this seems to be the right way. Humans. Human. What? Ah! Violence! Violence! I don't like it! Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm going through here. Follow me, please. Right, I'm going to try and eat you now. Come back. There we go. Okay, you want to be eaten then. As long as someone gets eaten. That's all I care about. As long as an eating happens. Okay. So, we found the murder room. I didn't think they would be that murderous, but here I am being proven wrong. Oh, we found a laboratory key. Refrigerator key. Oh, that will be fun. I'm sure the mad scientist doesn't have very weird stuff in his refrigerator. That's going to be in my dreams now. That's interesting that that's a quote. I'm trying to remember what that was about. Books with anatomy. Is your fridge in here, sir? This looks like fridge. Ooh, blood bags. Yes! I kind of keep forgetting that I have... Can I not... Am I full of blood bags? Probably. Inventory. I mean, I might as well use one. There we go. Okay. Was that all that I want? I thought I saw somebody then. Was that all I wanted in here? Looks like it. I'm not seeing any buttons or anything like that, so that's okay. Let me through. Let me through. Let me out. Let's head downstairs. I'm replaying Breath of the Wind right now. The nostalgia. Is it getting to you? Is it one that like all the emotions coming back up? I again never played the game, but I'm always told that it's an awful lot of fun. Violence is never the solution. Peacefully be my meal. Come on. I said peacefully be my meal. Oh, you absolute wanker. Die then. You didn't have to die like that. You could have died peacefully and with me being full of more blood. They're very inconsiderate. Below lock difficulty of 5. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to actually blood buff first. Violence is never the solution. Violence is the question, and the answer is yes, indeed. I'm so excited for the Tears of the Kingdom. Is that a new game that's coming up soon? For the Zelda series. Alright, what's in this room? I mean, yes, we'll take the gun. I don't want the gun, but we'll take the gun. Why not? The mind is a maze, and mazes inspire minds. In the labyrinth beyond this door, reactions of test subjects to the weirdest environments can be studied easily with the vampiric invisibility power of mine. Ah! So, this sounds like... possibly I would like to go invisible. Oh my god, that's not seizure-inducing at all. Will you let me drink too? I guess not. I'm gonna die because I'm being stupid. Oh, cancel, cancel, cancel. I didn't mean to do that. Ah! Jerkface McGee, stop it! My god, I keep making this worse for myself. I should have just gone the other way. But I wanted more blood! Sequel Breath of the Wild, Link's got a cool arm. It comes out, you think in May, so it's coming out pretty soon. That's neat. There we go. I'm looking forward to the Dead Island 2 sequel. I'm very excited for when that comes out. Alright, so I'm guessing that this is actually the way forward. So I don't want to go the way forward yet. I want to go have a look through this door. Mainly because like they wouldn't lock you out if you didn't get the lock picking, so I'm guessing that this is... Ooh, free food. Nom 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 nom. I'm so pleased we took this other invisibility. Oh my. Things are happening. Oh no. I have regrets. This is different. Oh my. I have in fact found the insane room. Gamer brain. I don't want to go the way forward. Exactly. I don't want to go forward. I want to explore more. Oh no. I am lost. Oh no. Getting Tears of the Kingdom for my birthday, maybe treating yourself. Gonna treat yourself? That's always nice. I always like on my birthday, I get myself a game that I've been wanting for a while. That's always my birthday gift to me. I go through this door. Let me through this door. I don't know how to get to this door. No, I want this door. Oh no. It's starting to make me dizzy. What have I done? This is horrible. I can't get to that door. I can't get through that door, but that seems to be the way forward. Jesus, okay. How? Let me through. Let me fall through. I actually think I'm legitimately stuck. Because I can't seem to get to that door, but there's no... Do you see what I mean? This looks different to when I played it last week. I wonder if that's a Malkavian thing or a Talos thing. Maybe if I go backwards through the doors? No. I'm gonna have to possibly restart. Like, I'm gonna have to load. I can't. It's actually making me nauseous. Oh, that's elapsed 30 minutes. Oh, God damn it. I don't want to redo 30 freaking minutes of it. Okay, I genuinely don't know how to get out of this. Can I walk there? No, I can't. I can't walk on the floor, and I can't walk on the ceiling because it's sideways, but there's no way to, like, interact or change anything. You have a more recent save than 30 minutes. I thought I did too. You're back home with the bubble tea. You're back home, and the bubble tea still lives. You didn't drink it along the way? I don't seem to have a more recent one, Barry. It's very uncharacteristic for me to be that well prepared. Because we were going so well, and unfortunately the autosave was what I've been relying on, but now the autosave is in this friggin' hallway of stupid. I'm just... Like, it's very clear that that's the door I need to go through. But I can't, and I don't understand why. And I think it's broken. I don't want to go back 30 minutes. I'm actually going to rage quit if I have to jump back 30 minutes. That's so frustrating. That is... Check the older save. It says it's 30 minutes back. See, we're all... That's so frustrating. I don't understand why that room exists. I'm so annoyed at that room right now. Now I've got to try and remember what I didn't do in the game. Or what I did do. I'm really annoyed, actually. I am beyond annoyed about that. That is beyond frustrating. Okay. I think this is when I went around and I turned all the switches to off. Okay. The Malkavian maze portion is the optional portion. I looked away when you entered there, but it was once accessed through the wall that opened by pivoting open. I don't know at this point, Barry. Because the problem is it actually made me feel sick. Was what was happening there. Oh, that's so frustrating. Okay, so we're going to go through and do it all friggin' again, guys. Now I've got to try and remember where everything was. Jesus Christ. Was that this way? I think it was this way. Okay, I should have just gone forward. I should have ignored... See, this is why every time I go out of my way to actually explore in a game, I end up getting... Like, I always pick the worst part of a game to explore on. I get severely punished for exploring, and then I never explore again. Alright, well, I know what happens if I go over that way, so I'm just going to ignore you all. The blood bags are not really worth it. Okay. Oop. Stop it. And now I'm just going to do a save here, because screw doing that again. Ma'am, die. I actually wanted to feed on her. Alrighty, so that's the stupid door. We're not going that way. We're not going that way at all. This isn't that far back to BH. I'm still annoyed, Barry. Mainly because I'm feeling dizzy now. That's more what annoyed me. I don't like it. There's a few games I've noticed do that to me. Dead Space 1, the anti-gravity in Dead Space 1 screwed with me. Prey was another game that did that to me. Like, there would be sections, and again, it was anti-gravity, which I guess, like, that room's kind of the same where everything spins. So, I didn't think I got motion sickness in games until I played, like, Dead Space and Prey, and now that level of this game. You're dizzy, but are you painted? Painted dizzy. I like that reference. Oh, can I drink you? Go away! You stupid gimp! Ladies, let me drink your blood. Stop making me kill gimps. Alright, so we're back. Oh my god, stupid gimp, die. We're back, everybody. We're not... You, magic glowy door. I'm going through you this time. Hello, other room. What's up here? If that's the case, probably don't play Anti-Chamber or Superliminal. I actually was fine with Superliminal. That's the weird thing. Superliminal, there wasn't any issue in. I suspect it's because Superliminal was built with, yeah, I have played. That was actually, we have a great quote from Superliminal. I forget what it was, but it's like, it will come up occasionally, the quote will. Then just don't play Anti-Chamber because that's a head spin. Depends on, like, what is... Actually, do you know what? There is one other game that actually got all of you sick as well. I'm trying to remember what... It was a game... Drawber nominated the game. It was during, like... It was Drawber's pick during the original... During, actually, the run with Superliminal. So, it was, like, the very first subs pick a game that I ever did. And it was, like, a bunch of different games that the subs picked. And it was... It was basically, oh, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was a series of smaller games made by developers when they have this, the ones with the games inside the games. Yes, those ones. I'm trying to remember what that was. Because that was a fantastic game. I loved the levels. They were so fun. But there was one level in it. There was one game within a game. I'm trying to remember what that series of games is called because they're great. There was one level and it made all the viewers sick. It was like, I was trying to get through with it and I was starting to feel it, but all the viewers ended up getting sick because it was like this weird, meaty, fleshy, strange level that turned everything upside down. But Superliminal doesn't make me sick, and I suspect the reason is, I'd actually be very interested to see if Anti-Chamber... Actually, Barry, could you put Anti-Chamber down? Like, make a note for me. I want to look that up. I'd be very interested to see if that did make me sick, because it seems to be games that intend from the ground up to be trippy don't affect me as much as games who add trippy segments into the game. And I suspect that there's, like, a design reason why that is. Dread Collection! You've got it there! Dread Collection! I look away and all I hear is Telesiel, get away, you stupid gimp. What? Nothing personal, just confused. The gimps are chasing me, Electro, and I don't like them. They're the bad ones. I haven't thought about that game in years. About the game, the, Anti-Chamber Aussie? The depth of field doing that to some extent. I suspect one of the reasons why the games that intend it, obviously, they would be aware, like, they would be probably more focused on the motion sick thing and making sure people aren't motion sick during it. I think I've chatted to you all and I've turned around and I've gone backwards, but I maybe not have. Okay, so let me think.
Come here, boy. Stay there, boy. Sit down, boy. Stand up, boy. Speak up, boy. Go for the soldier, you won't destroy. Drop him in the ocean or float like, boy. Come here.
Boy. Thank you for the lovely boy. Come here, boy. That's what I'm wanting to say to our goddamn sir who refuses to appear for me. There's a Dread Collection, a Dread X Collection, The Hunt. Thank you, Barry, for bringing up the name of that. I loved the ghost level on that. One of my favorite levels on Dread X was there was this level, and you were a photographer in the game. Oh, there you go. I definitely have been. These things are back. And what you would do is you would take photos of like ghosts and things that they attack you. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Wait, we must have been. I must have been both ways. But why have? Okay, this seems maybe new. I don't know anymore. The Malkavian mansion is getting to me. Yeah, okay, so... we definitely were here in a previous... do you know what? I will just do a blood buff and get through that. Because I'll get the blood packs. I just listen to that song on the drive to work all the time. It's a damn good song, isn't it? Alright, let's see if we can figure out how to actually get through this area. So, we know we're meant to go down, right? That is the way we're meant to go. I mean, the design of Antechamber is fantastic because of all the illusions that you can get away with in-game. However, the entire game is experiencing those illusions firsthand, and some can melt your brain a bit. Not to mention that a specific map doesn't exist, but rather it uses teleporting to mesh rooms and hallways together. It sounds very interesting. I think that's always the risk whenever you do something trippy in a game, is it going to affect people too much visually? So I'm pretty sure that this is the way forward. As in, we're meant to go this way, so... no, I don't want to lockpick this one. I don't want to lockpick this. I didn't mean to do a blood buff either. Because I'm pretty sure this is the... yeah, this is the stupid... This is the way that leads to sadness. So we'll take this gun and we'll exit. So that's the way that leads to sadness. So we don't want to go that way. We don't want to go and be sad, so we're not going to do that. Now, we'll open up each of these. So... that went through there.
Please
this way.
save the game.
Yes, I am saving the game. Ah, get off blood buff. Vision of death. Vision of death. Vision of death. And hello, Knife Crazy. How are you going? I hope you're going well. Do not all directions lead to sadness? Well, not when there's like fun murder to be had the other way. That leads to greatness. You missed us getting stuck in a room, Knife Crazy, where everything was topsy-turvy. And it made me sick. So we're not going to go that way. We're not going to go to motion sickness land. Anyone else experience much motion sickness when they play games? Because I know some people actually get really affected. I actually do know someone who, their partner can't actually play any video games because whenever they see when they see video games, like watching it, it just makes them completely... why aren't you dying? Oh, I need more blood. I should pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm like, I should listen to that noise instead of just wondering why things aren't happening. There we go. My god, you have no blood. Why aren't you... no, I just visioned of death you. Die, you prick. No, I did mass hallucination, did I? Did I switch off it? I did. Die now. I thought I was full of... what the hell did I spend all my blood on? I was full of it just seconds ago. That's why my brain didn't click. I've tried eating the gimps, Knife Crazy, but they won't let me eat them in combat. The women who are crying will. The crying women do, but the gimp people won't. You've never gotten motion sick from games, not even VR. Ooh, not even in VR, because I've heard VR gets a lot of people. You did when you're playing Cyberpunk until you upgraded the PC. You did when you... that's very strange, Shadow. That's very strange that Cyberpunk did that until the PC got upgraded, because, like... what was happening graphically? That's very interesting. That is a very interesting one. Apparently Blood Buff and Vision of Death, they both use 2 blood points per use. I probably, yeah, I hit Blood Buff occasionally by accident there. And you get awfully sick from VR lemons. That would suck. VR's meant to be so much fun.
Stay with me long after conversation has ceased and are serving as quite a distraction. I fear others are beginning to notice my preoccupation at the vampire gatherings. I am thinking again of the particular vampire of whom I spoke previously, who I dare not name for my growing fear. If the voices are to be believed, then my caution is warranted, for they speak of his blackest crimes, both past and future. More than once, I have seen the suspicion in his eyes and heard the distrust in his voice when speaking with me. The fear must register on my...
No, I didn't mean to... I thought the door would just swing open and I would just have a swingy open door. Go back through.
The voices have increased in frequency.
Mother shan't be too pleased.
I do actually want to hear the rest of what that was. That was downstairs. Yeah, tell me the rest of your tale, sir. I'm actually really into Grout Knife Crazy. I like to know what the Grout's doing.
In frequency and direction of late. They have begun to stay with me long after conversation has ceased and are serving as quite a distraction. I fear others are beginning to notice my preoccupation at the vampire gatherings. I am thinking again of the particular vampire of whom I spoke previously, who I dare not name for my growing fear. If the voices are to be believed, then my caution is warranted, for they speak of his blackest crimes, both past and future. More than once, I have seen the suspicion in his eyes and heard the distrust in his voice when speaking with me. The fear must register on my face, as it is all I can do in these moments to keep from crying out in chorus with...
Interesting. You brought it up in the stream. Yeah, the motion blur can make you sick. The thing is, like, my, both, when I was playing it, even on the new PC, I still had the motion blur on, is what I mean. Like, it's very interesting that there was a difference between the two. But I'm not doubting you. Please don't, take what I'm saying as doubt. It's just very interesting that, the slight, even though the cause of it, as you're saying, is the motion blur was still there, but you're saying, the slight graphical change was what altered your perception of it for your body, so you didn't get motion sick. So that's what I mean by, it's quite interesting, because, the root cause is still there. It's just, I guess, nullified by, the higher graphics somehow. It's okay, I suppose. I just watch other people play it and I have a good enough time. With the VR, you just watch others do it. And some types of VR make you sick knife crazy. What kinds of, are you okay with, golf in, VR type thing? Or what kind of VR makes you sick? I've never met anyone who likes motion blur. I don't think I even notice it, Lunch Snake. When I have it on, because I have a lot of people who say to me, I have had people say to me, turn motion blur off in games and stuff before, and I just don't notice it. But again, I barely notice when graphics change, so that's always why I'm very confused when I do end up getting, sick from games, because I don't seem to notice a lot graphically. I also like listening to crazy people with great voices. I know, right, Knife Crazy? It actually took me a while, Knife Crazy, to understand fully why he was mad. Because I was like, I know he's Malkavian, but he's speaking a lot of sense. And then I was like, oh no, because what he's saying is crazy because it's bad. I get it. Is that why you join us here, Knife Crazy? Yes, your smooth tones to stuff your demented backstory into my brain. Yes, I love when people, when you have, a crazy person, but they have, not a crazy person voice. They have, just a really cool voice that you can listen to, and you're like, keep telling me of your insanity. I love it. I'd say I'm the same way, Talos. I almost never see motion blur at all until somebody mentions it outright. Yeah, it's you just don't notice until somebody mentions it. But again, I guess people notice different things.
Heroes never
die.
I am no longer safe. I know it. The voices have proven themselves authentic, and I have withdrawn from the Vampire Society entirely. My absence will no doubt draw attention, but I could no longer hold my fragile composure around the ravenous eyes of my vampire peers, especially not around him. The voices compelled me to make what I fear is a Faustian bargain, but I had to, for their demands are constant and merciless. I have secluded myself within the mansion. I know he will strike out at me. He will go to any length to achieve his ambitions, and he knows it, I know. I have taken precautions to protect my beloved wife. Her cure will have to wait until our immediate safety is guaranteed. The mansion was constructed with security in mind, but at that time I was not privy to the full range of vampire capabilities.
Ooh.
The voices echo in the twisted corridors of my psyche, dark whisperings of a macabre and formless menace, the approach of which portends an end to all of this.
Interesting. When you turn it around quickly and it shutters, there's a few games I have that do it. That's one of those things that link to performance as well. Screen tearing makes me more sick than motion blur, however. Fair enough, so you've actually got a few games that will actually do that to you, Shadow. That's really interesting. I'm I know mine tends to just be that sort of anti-gravity. It's sort of, mine is definitely, it's more when the rooms start to rotate. That seems to be really when it hits me. Because again, like, the anti-gravity in Dead Space and stuff like that, or Prey, that's really when it hits me. And again, like in this game where it was having that similar effect. When crazy people start to make sense to you, that is definitely not a slippery slope into their cult. Definitely not. When crazy people make sense, you just know that they're getting better, they're getting more sane. I feel motion blur. Not a fan of motion blur either there, Aussie. It's also the same thing with aliasing in games like Alien Isolation, where it tends to be quite a big issue for a lot of people, but I somehow never noticed it till I read about the complaints. Isn't that funny, Lemons? It's like, until you, like, people point it out, it's like, oh, there's a difference, but I always find it funny when people are like, oh, this monitor is going to show your graphics so much better. I almost never notice the difference. I bet his wife isn't real or is long dead. That's what I'm thinking, Lunch Snake. Oh, there you go. We just answered. Or like a Mr. Freeze situation. He froze her. It's a Mr. Freeze situation. Yeah, it's a Mr. Freeze situation. God, I love a good Batman villain. What a pose to be frozen in for all eternity. I mean, it's at least semi-respectful. Well, 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 well. She's fine, she's just having a map. I love the Harley Quinn version of Mr. Freeze. Oh my god, like the animated TV show Lunch Snake? Where he has like the little lunch and he freezes them there and he's got like the food he's bringing them all. That is so good. If you guys haven't seen the animated Harley Quinn television show, you have to check it out. If you like funny things. Because it's absolutely hilarious. It is one of the best incarnations I've seen of Harley Quinn for so long. And it's just really good. And it actually deals with some really cool subject matter in a very funny but deeper way than almost other TV shows I've seen. I love the Harley Quinn version of many of the characters. They're so good. I love Bane in that version. Bane is one of my favorite characters. He's so good. Maybe because I don't really care about graphics too much. I know a lot of people who get turned off from games like this and Oblivion and anything in the pre-2010s era just off the base of it being not graphically top edge. Yeah, I've never ever gotten that myself, Lemons, about bulking at graphics, because I'm just like, okay, it's a potato face. Like, it really doesn't bother me if the graphics are bad. The only games that I tend to actually stay away from a little bit tend to be pixel games, where they're the 2D pixels. On saying that I play a lot of Stardew Valley and stuff. I know it's a little bit different, but I just tend to stay away from like the pixel art games a bit, and that's more not because the graphics are bad, but usually because I just don't. There's something about that art style that just pulls me out of the game. Like, I'm just so hyper aware when I'm playing them that I am playing a video game, which is stupid because all games look like that. Oh, what's this?
They're coming.
I think someone murdered him. Is that what's going on there? Well, that sucks for him, isn't it? And they just left the wife in animation. This is like... It's a lot of really fun character takes. It really is some very... I don't know how far... I don't want to do any spoilers, Lunch Snake. Have you finished watching the series? Just in case I do a spoiler. Like, I mean, like... all of the best versions of the show, especially Bane... My poster maker! His voice always kills me. It's so good. Not all of it. Okay, so without saying certain things, I really actually like the Joker's arc and where the Joker ends up. I find it absolutely hilarious. It sounds like the mansion's crumbling around me. Oh, I suppose I can understand that. It does make it funny to imagine how it was for kids in the 70s, 80s who played the Atari and got their minds absolutely blown. I can't imagine what it was like having, like, Pong. Can you imagine, like, Pong is your first game, and from Pong to Cyberpunk? Like... Oh! No, Grout isn't dead. Grout is no longer a corpse. He is ash. Oh, wait, no. Grout lay low and be cleansed by the flames. Oh, I see. You're trying to kill Grout. Oh, okay. Grout killer, you're not mine. Grout's killer. Okay, for a second I thought that was, like, I read... For a second, because my microphone is, like, perfectly balanced where the yellow is, and I read that as, like, Grout is saying, no, that's not Grout.
Count is dead? Pity it could not be by my hand. No matter. Soon your self-made kings and false prophets and all who bear the mark of the beast.
So someone else was after Grout.
For the coming of the Lord.
Where are your manners? How about an introduction?
Tell them it was Grünfeldbach who sent your damned soul to that lake of fire. All agents of Satan shall return to whence they came. Let this righteous display serve as a promise to all who serve the Archfiend Lacroix. I'm coming for you, Lacroix. By the power of the Lord, I will cleanse your black soul.
Vampire Hunter, I take it? I'm going to bomb this party. You're going to bomb this party, Ozzy. I haven't watched this arc, but I know about his arc. Yes, it's very good. Tries to complete that, and her brain melts out of her ears. Just contemplate that. Brain just melts. Damn, this man really hates sparkling water. He... Much to little sense. Are you... Oh, okay, bye. Can I take any of your knickknacks? No? Can I take anything from here? No. The door is locked. Shall I jump down then? Can I eat you? I'm assuming that this is a bad fire. Yes.
Team up for
I thought that might be a bad fire. That's not fantastic. I probably shouldn't run... Oh my god, I probably shouldn't run into the goddamn fire. And Killer Bean 5000, thank you so much for the raid! I super duper appreciate it. You've come in at a fantastic time. I'm burning to death. It's quite grand, actually. I'm just going to vision that. What game have you come from? Killer Bean. Yeah, I'm going to die. I should pause the game when I'm actually talking to people, but welcome! Raid indeed. Fire causes aggravated damage. Yes, yes it does. It does. I jumped down because I was like, I guess I'll jump down, and then I tried to feed on a burning guy, so, that didn't turn out well for me, which was kind of expected. It's one of those situations where you jump in and you're like, look, I'm 99% certain that what I'm going to do is very stupid, but I'm going to do it because there's a 1% chance maybe something wonderful happens. Almost never does that happen, but this case proved that that's true. Turns out the vampires are very flammable. Who knew? Who knew, Knife Crazy? It's always good, like, look, it's always good to test. If we assume, sometimes we're wrong, so it's always good to test, Knife Crazy. Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It sure was a game. Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I've heard of Mirror's Edge. What is Mirror's Edge Catalyst? I don't like this guy who's on fire. I'm going to be on fire for a while, aren't I? Do I eventually... Yes, I do. That answers my question. Do not eat the fire. Dude, I just wanted warmed up blood. Knife Crazy. I wanted spicy blood, and I thought the flames would add flavor. Like, you know, like what do vampires add to blood for flavor, right? Like, think about it. We have all sauces we can add. We can add, like, you know, mustard, ketchup if you're boring, hot sauce, all mayonnaise, all this other really cool, interesting stuff. But what can vampires add to blood? So I was like, maybe fire. Maybe they add the elements, you know, to spice up their mealtime. Like, they have to add something. Can you imagine if you had that? Like, vampires had that. They're like... They sell, like, blood seasoning. Feed this to your victim 24 hours before you drain their blood, and it will taste just like a Sunday roast. Golly. Sunday coming around for your feeding? Try this Sunday roast now. Ooh, turkey-flavored blood. Main gameplay is good, parkour, plot, and combat not so much. So the parkour is good, but the plot's... Like, is the plot actively bad, Kilo Bean? Or is the plot, like... just very typical? Like, you kind of are like, yes, I could have guessed the ending. This is quite a classic storytelling. And combat, not so much. That always sucks when combat is bad in a game, since combat is so vital to any game that has combat. You want it to be fun, because you want to have fun when you do the main mechanic, because you know they're going to throw stupid stuff at you. Let's holster that. Vampire condiments. Exactly, Lemons. Where are the vampire condiments? Are you wearing asses, chaps? I am, because it had... So this is our character. We, I guess are a sexy cowgirl. I didn't mean to be a sexy cowgirl, but the clothing was better than the other clothing we had. We were technically like a sexy looking schoolgirl before. So I think this is an upgrade. I feel more mature with no pants. You know... and chaps on. It's a more mature look than before. Because I've gone Malkavian. Do you know, Killer Bean, do you know much about Vampire the Masquerade? Because I've gone the Malkavian, so I'm the insane race, because that seems to match my mental capabilities. So apparently they have the very sexy outfits. There was an attempt at plot thos. Okay, so the sequel prequel that flopped. Okay, sorry, I jump around with the comments. So that's what the Catalyst is a sequel prequel to it. And out of curiosity then, Killer Bean, had you played just the first one? Like before Catalyst? Or was that your introduction to the series? It's typical and bad at the same time, somehow predictable yet nothing of impact. Oh, that's annoying. That is annoying. Plot. Oh, that room's very on fire, isn't it? Look at that room. That's a very on fire room. No chat was mentioning it to me today, though. Oh, like the Masquerade or the first one? Malkavians have the best fashion and dialogue. Look, the dialogue is actually top tier. I've enjoyed my dialogue so much. So, I actually... Oh. The fire's following me. That's not fantastic. Masquerade, I played the first one. Oh, okay. So you were kind of hoping like the sequel would be, well, the sequel prequel. Like you're comparing the two. First one just sort of knocked it out of the park. That one just didn't. That always sucks when you get games like that when they try to expand the universe and it's like, that's kind of a failed expansion there. Wish you'd left it be. Not as good. There's a lot of fire going on. Oh! Okay, so I'm wondering if I go invisible. But yeah, 100%. If you get a chance to play Masquerade, if you're big into role-playing games, it's very, very fun. I'm on fire again. And oh god, there's a lot of people on fire here. I am on fire and I'm hurting, and I'm going to die, and that's what it is. So we can't. Sometimes you can't change fate. You just have to run away from it. So, if you could not attack me, sir, like, just give me a second. Just give me a second. Don't come near me. There we go. Okay, now you can die. Stop being on fire. I'm going to holster my axe. I'm running out of blood. I do have more blood. I am running low on packs, though, so I'm going to be in a spot of trouble soon. We're going to be in such a spot of trouble. Malks have the best dialogue, but they're also discouraged at the first place. Yes, everyone, Omnicron, everyone, when I was doing it, they were saying, don't go Malkavian, yada yada. Reason being Malkavian dialogue actually foreshadows a bunch of what happens in the game, so if you play it by a different character and you know what the twists are, then you can take extra joy from the Malkavian lines because you can be like, oh, what a cheeky reference to the thing coming up. As it turns out, according to Barry and a few other people, because I've gone Malkavian for my first playthrough, I've managed to guess some of the plots that's happening because I'm reading the Malkavian lines and being like, is that what's happening? So that's actually been quite a lot of fun. Quite frankly, for my first playthrough, had I played a different vampire class first, I would have eventually come around to doing a second playthrough of this game. But because I've played the Malkavian, the moment I finish this first playthrough, I'm doing it again, but with a different vampire class, because I've enjoyed this so much as a Malkavian so far. I can't wait to see what it looks like when I'm sane in this game. So, oddly enough, by virtue of doing it a very Talos way, I've actually made myself enjoy the game more. Though I understand that traditionally people are like, that's not the way you should do it. You can't change fate. You have to run away from it. Exactly, Lem. Sometimes you just have to run away from it. The very little from what I remember, it's been a hot minute, but I recommend it's also quite short. Ooh, I do enjoy having a nice short game from time to time. There's one of the best feelings in the world is to start a day and end a day with a game finished under your belt. That's always a nice feeling, to be like, look, what did I do today? I started and finished a game in one go. Also go to dip since I work early tomorrow, so have a great time. Well, thank you so much again for the raid, Killer Bean. I super duper appreciate you. Have a fantastic rest of your time zone and an awesome time at work. You took this with the sisters without even referring to the Malk dialogue and before meeting Teresa. Well, I just felt obvious, that one. Oh, a nice room that's not on fire. This is delightful. Oh, a window. That's even more delightful. Yay, we escaped, everyone! See, rambling and shambling about. Sometimes you get freedom that... Oh, hi, this is me. Hi, that was a cool view. I'm gonna save there because insanity. Malk's also a bit harder to get through the parts of the game when the devs ran short on time and copy-pasted enemies instead of puzzles or dialogue options. Fortunately, I have Vision of Death, so as long as I have blood, I can just be... I'm doing the Oprah Winfrey of blood. You get a death, and you get a death, and you get a death, and I'm just handing them out. So that's a bit fun. Honestly, Malkavians suit your playstyle, and it's amusing to see. I think it suits my playstyle very... Like, it's very... It's almost like I'm intentionally role-playing the Malkavian outside of the game. I'm actually really, really pleased with my pick to go Malkavian. I was worried when so many people were telling me don't do it, that I was like, maybe I shouldn't do it. But the more I've played this, the more I've actually fallen in love with the game and the Malkavians. So I'm still just, I'm so pleased I did it at the end of the day. I'm having an absolute blast. And I think that's the most important thing when anyone plays any video game, is the enjoyment you get out of it. And honestly, the insanity of this has been brilliant. I wish I could take her somewhere, but every time I take her, I get caught. Fate can be bent. Fate doesn't know what it's doing either. Jess has said everything since Y2K as her evidence. Yeah. Oh my god, the Y2K thing was absolutely hilarious. So, let's just check what we're doing here. You have viewed the child remains of Alistair Grout. You should probably inform Prince about his demise. Ah, yes, we're going to go talk to the man I want to punch. Just imagine with infinite alternate timeline, there are some that are even worse. That's true. The Oprah Winfrey of Blood is a title I envy. I'm the Oprah Winfrey of Blood! You'll get some blood, and you'll get some... It sounds like that Sesame Street count. 1 blood, ha ha ha, 2 blood. I wish there was a... I know we're not going to come across a vampire like that in this game, but it would be so funny if we did. Do I need to talk to you? You.
Evening there. Something burning? Smells like someone burnt the burgers.
My nose knows such things. Send me to La Croix.
Sure, I'll open her up for you. Make it for one of them double-spaced burgers. Onions and cheese and some bacon and a guacamole.
Oh, he's hungry, everyone. I'm going up. Goodbye. If not for the short daytime, this game would be a lot better balanced for all clans and playstyles, stealth, combat, dialogue. Not for the dev time. Sorry, I read that as day. I was very confused for a second. I would love to see what they would have done with even more. I'm looking forward to if they ever release number 2. I know it's different devs because it got handed around. It's been in development hell for years, but I'd be very interested. Like, number 2 is meant to come this year, but apparently it's meant to come this year for many years. Didn't get more time to polish it. It was so buggy on launch too. Imagine if they had more time. Sort of like how Cyberpunk ended up being really buggy on launch. Hello, Prince.
The Primogens still haven't been contacted by Grout. I thought I made it clear that you were not supposed to come back until we had heard from him.
Well, he's murdered, so I can't really help with that. I could bring his skull and make it talk if you like. Just wear it on my hand like a hand puppet. Hello, I'm Grout. I'm very dead. Listen to Jeff now.
Grout's dead? What?
Who is Buck? Why does he want to set me on fire?
Buck? Every time I think he's lost the scent. So, Buck killed Grout to draw me out.
Go kill Grout? Like, go kill Buck. Grout was not hunted. He was disposed of.
Buck is a hunter. They stalk and kill our kind to appease their god. But like many mortals, their so-called faith is nothing but a conduit through which they quench their killing urge. Who else would have killed Grout?
Nines, he seemed to be there too. Grout minus Buck equals 9s. He was the sum I saw first. I like that answer. This is why I like the Malkavian. The number 2 was supposed to come this year, back in 2021. Number 2 of Bloodlines is like Dead Island's number 2. Every year it's meant to come, and every year it goes back. It would have been a lot like OG Deus Ex or Human Revolution post-patch. I need to play the Deus Ex. That is another series I so need to try. Was supposed to come out a while back, but it's been in development hell and it'll probably get cancelled to PH. I honestly am waiting for Dead Island 2 also to be cancelled. I'm holding them the same. The 2 games that just keep getting promised. Fate knows exactly what it's doing. It's only on purposes. Its only purpose is to mess with people.
Look at me.
It does feel that way, Electro.
Are you sure it was Nines Rodriguez? Because if it was, the consequences...
He seems excited.
Do you know where this might lead?
God, I want to slap
really
him.
Have any idea?
He reminds me of, like, a slightly more polished Joffrey from Game of Thrones. And Omnicron Alfarius, thank you so much for the follow. I super duper appreciate that. Are you saying goodbye? Night, well, thank you again so much for dropping by. You have an absolutely fantastic rest of your time zone and a wonderful sleep. And again, thank you for the follow. You like option number 2. I don't like dramas. Please change your channel to a comedy. Okay, that is pretty damn good. You are right there,
I'm glad
Snake.
you find this so amusing. I don't. And do you know
I always
why?
find it amusing.
It means, under most circumstances, I would call a blood hunt on the murderer immediately. However, the anarchs of this city may interpret such an action to be a declaration of war.
Yes, they would. 100% they would.
Want a war with them. This decision will take some time. I need
Well,
to confer
I would
with
start
the
a war with
Primogen
you.
on this. In the meantime, I've come to a decision on the Ankaran sarcophagus, and I believe that for the safety of the inhabitants of this city, we need to place the sarcophagus under Camarilla protection.
It looked like that something bursted out of the sarcophagus
This
and is long
also is
gone.
very
I don't think the sarcophagus matters anymore.
Your skill once more. The Ankaran sarcophagus was quietly delivered to the
Museum!
Museum of Natural History a few hours ago.
That's where
I would like
Precious
you to bring it
Fetish is,
back
right?
here for safekeeping.
Yes, yes.
The manifest from the Dane shows there was a small box from the same dig on board, but it was listed as missing. Keep an eye open for it. It may have been overlooked.
No, if that's for Prisha, then that's for
Crucial
Prisha.
we get the sarcophagus in our possession within the next few
Ooh,
hours.
I'm so happy. Faye can still get bent. Correct. Oh, definitely. Oh, I am excited. My hands are dirty. Let me wipe them on new bills.
Yeah, I'm feeling charitable.
Really? So what do I do now? Now that I'm paid, I'm leaving. I'm through jumping through your hoops.
Here are the keys to the
No.
front door of the museum. The sarcophagus should be in an examination room of some sort. There's a small security staff on site, but I don't want a massacre. Mortals
Why?
are just as easy to deceive as they are to
Why are you so against the murders? First, my mind wanders something. I will take the field trip to the museum now. This task will wait for me. I am gone. Number 2.
There is a degree of immediacy attached to this task. Work fast. And, as on the Dane, you are not to open the Ankaran sarcophagus for any reason.
I really feel like it's going to open
Excuse me.
itself, sir.
Oh, and to show my appreciation for your dedicated service to me, I have secured you a haven nearby.
Ah!
In the Skyline
Aha!
apartment building. I hope it's to your liking.
We can go see our follower. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Stalker time, stalker time, stalker time. I'm so excited. Let's go find the stalker. Stalker, stalker, stalker. I love my stalker. They're so dedicated. Like, and that's a good trait to have in a stalker. Like, obviously having a stalker isn't a fantastic thing, but if you have a stalker, you want a good stalker. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't want a garbage stalker. So, dedication, like, you don't want to have, like, a half-assed stalker if you're talking about your stalker. Because if you and everyone else being stalked get together and compare your stalkers, you don't want to be the one that's like, oh, my stalker only comes around every other Tuesday. They're a bit flip-floppy. You know what I mean? You want one with dedication, and that's what my stalker has. Stalker 101. Is it really stalking if the stalkie wants to be stalked? That's true! At what point do you stop counting as being stalked and just, like, I guess, in a like, what would you call that? Like, I just follow this person around, but it's consensual, so it's not stalking. It just is. You don't want a massacre. Hovers mouse over Jefferside. Fair enough, fair enough. You're like, but you, Shadow, you want a massacre. It's in the skylines, right? You want the massacre to happen. Lamau. Most of mine have been absolute garbage. Disappointing. Exactly. You don't want garbage stalkers. Barry, why does Talos know so much about stalking? Is that really a surprise? It's just playing hard to get. Like, there's Sky. I walked right by my apartment. To my stalker. I think the difference would be the line between felonies. That's true. Like, do you charge presses or not?
Look, I'm Barry. I'm stuck in a pit. I can't get out. Oh, I'm in a basement.
Hey, Barry. How long do you think she trapped Barry and is close to getting Ozzy? I think Barry will have a companion anytime now. One day entrapment will happen. Ozzy will wake up and he'll be reversed Pinocchio'd into a robot, just like Barry was. And then I'll have two... and then there's slow collection, and then... Yes, okay. You're there! Hooray! Hi! This is my apartment. Hang on, let me look around before I look at you. You're my stalker, so you have to wait. What is this unknown I gained? I gain unknown! I'm so happy. What a love. This is actually a really nice apartment. I'm shocked. I kind of was expecting garbage. I have a chair! I'm so happy. Come with me. Come with me. Yeet. Oh. Fish! I have fish. Look how big this is. It's a bit boring for them though. I feel bad for these fish. They need more in their aquarium. The fish will be bored. Bring me fish toys. I need fish toys, ma'am. Fish toys for my fish. They're not really mixing, are they? They're sort of segregating themselves. Bad fish, be friendly. Oh, these two are being friendly. You, yellow fish, come play with the other fish. We need fish toys. You, bring me fish toys.
Finally, you're back. I thought maybe something happened to you. I shouldn't even think such a thing. I mean, if you disappeared, how could I go on? But you're here now. I'm so glad when you're near me.
I enjoy her intensity. It's absolutely wonderful. Brand new apartment, and she immediately starts making a mess. Picks up chair, throws chair. As the Malk, I would also recommend turning on the TV when home, as it has some unique dialogue sometimes. Ooh, 100%. Let's do that. How do you feel Talos wants to give fish toys, but you still without legs? Come down, my pet. Take me internally. I am forever yours. Addictive stuff, blood.
This feeling. It's love. Oh, all I can feel is love for you.
She's better than all my cult members on Cult of the Lamb. Entertain me and maybe you'll feel it again.
I almost forgot. I got a college loan check today. Here, I want you to take some of the money.
Oh no! I've seen more green in the color purple. You are just as... No! You should invest in something else.
I think I'm gonna drop out of school. You know, so I can watch over you during the day or run errands for you. It's the least I can do to earn my keep.
Ah, I love her. A good argument. I'll buy something red to remind me of your hair. I'm gonna go with that option.
I'll try to get more, you know, when I can.
I also like the color red. When I return, surprise me. TV.
Seeing him in the next few days. Simon Milligan, host of local cable show Haunted LA, and his crew are reported missing tonight. The team of the popular supernatural-themed program were filming around downtown Los Angeles, according to the show's producer. But friends and family of the crew started to worry when they failed to return from a night of shooting. No trace has been found yet of the Haunted LA team, and rumors by the show's fans speculate the crew met a supernatural end, though police disagree and have started a sweep of the areas where the crew was filming. A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island, has scientists scratching their heads. Found by a jogger early on Tuesday morning who says he smelled it a mile away, the mystery creature is thought to be some form of giant octopus, though marine biologists that have examined the monster have commented that they have never seen anything like it in the cephalopod family before. They speculate that it could be
that's cool.
undiscovered family of sea creatures.
Oh, that's right, air vents. I like the color of her hair. It's a nice color. Hang on.
Though without any trace of its operator or passengers. Cambodian officials
nah.
For you.
It's a solid red. It is a good red hair. Well, I don't get the feeling that we're going to have another cyberpunk situation where Talos has massive piles of cash but doesn't spend it. Well, I only am buying blood packs and costumes when I can. I don't have a lot that I want to spend it on. I don't spend a lot in games. Like, I often just... For me, part of the,
that was recently released for good behavior was found butchered.
Your skin change it. I didn't actually mean to talk to you there. Ma'am, I want to get through. I tend to, in games, enjoy just having what I've got with me and dealing with it. So I often just don't buy stuff. I mean, it's pretty easy to do this if you don't use ranged weapon. The main money sink is ammo. Yeah, that's the impression I'm getting, Barry, is a lot of the money sort of go, like, obviously because this game, you know, early 2000s type thing.
and rumors by the show's fans
sort of, I'm getting the vibe that, you know how there's some old games where you get a lot of money and there isn't actually a lot in the game to spend it on, and they kind of rely on you buying one thing to spend that money, and if you don't buy that one thing, you just end up rich. That's the vibe I'm getting. I was hoping that maybe we'd have some more emails.
Though marine biologists then have
you're getting the hang of her gameplay lately? Electro. Oh, so you're starting to understand her now. She just likes money. You have 8 emails. 4 are unread. So I was right for hoping that we had more emails. Password. Isn't this my computer?
Though without any trace of its operator or passengers. Cambodian officials have dispatched several military units into the area through the surrounding jungle.
From LaCroix. It has come to our attention that a sample of werewolf blood has made it into the hands of the local tabloid and that they have sent on the clinic in Santa Monica for testing. The responsible parties has been dealt with, most painfully, I can assure you. But for obvious reasons, we can't have anyone testing the blood. Please retrieve the blood sample from the clinic and leave it in your mailbox. You will be compensated accordingly. Welcome, Mercurio. Hey, welcome to town. Come on over. Oh no, I didn't want that. 6. Stop by my apartment when you get a chance. I'll set you up. Okay. 7. Don't touch the butter. The new extreme sport that's sweeping the nation is now on a limited edition DVD. Watch superstars Iron Will McMahon, Brock Ori Hines, and Margarine Mike Davenport as they use every bit of restraint in their body to not touch the butter. 1 bowl of butter, 2 contestants, 3 judges, and a hell of a lot of willpower. To order, log on to... What the hell is that game? 8. A bishop is sacrificed for the king. A sacrifice from a friend. Okay. Excellent. Someone hasn't checked their emails for a while. Yes, I kind of forgot to check my emails. I only 4 were unread though. Goodbye. Fish. I love my fish. This is my favorite thing in the apartment. She's my second. The first is the fish. Okay, so down we go. I do love her enthusiasm though. I must make one with my bed. Have a good time zone, folks. Well, again, thank you so much for dropping by, Lunch Snake. And again, a big thank you for your resub and the 3 subs you did drop on other people as well. Thank you so much for that. That is very generous of you. You have a fantastic rest of your time zone and absolutely awesome sleep as well. I shall continue to cause mayhem. And I'll catch you... tomorrow's not the roleplay, it's the next week as well. So I'll definitely catch you for more Wicked Ones. Okay, so game has been saved. Now. We have quests. We have quests indeed. So, we could go back, because I am running low on blood packs, so we could get more blood packs. We could get the museum. Hollywood. We haven't gone to Hollywood at all. From the medical clinic to protect the Masquerade. I kind of want to go back and get more blood packs just to like refresh. But I am also interested in the sarcophagus. So how do I from the museum? So I can travel. Okay, we got to find the taxi first. That's what we need to do. We need to find the taxi. Those blood packs are actually super handy to carry around. Come, my pretty. I'm hoping that this is the way. All I want to do is get to the next outfit. That's what I really want. I want to dress up more. Hey, baby. Because cosmetics are the fun parts of any game is the cosmetics. I love doing the cosmetics. Who here doesn't care for cosmetics? Who gets into a game and they give you cosmetics? Just goes, meh, don't care. I don't want these cosmetics. Too much cosmetic.
Hop in.
Let's go, Ribbit. Let's go. Okay. So museum, let's go to Santa Monica. You can never have enough cute outfits. Exactly, Knife Craze. You can never have enough cute outfits. It's like middle of a fight. Need more. I am the absolute worst in games because I will just... I'm doing it to Destiny, and I shouldn't do it in Destiny. It's very silly of me. Where I'll just cling on to everything because I'm like, but what if I want the look later? What if I want this? I don't want to give it up. I might need it. Hello, Blinky Light. Ah, the med center. Welcome. Okay, let's go. So if I was doing blood testing, where would I blood test? I know I need to go to the blood bank man, regardless. If cosmetics have no effect, I find something I like, and that's what I stick with for pretty much the entire time. It's, yeah, I tend, like, obviously the hat in Cyberpunk is a very good example of me sticking with something that I like. I feel like this area looks different. Is that the box I yeeted out of the room? That's cute. We can see my chaos trail. It survives. That's lovely. I'm so happy.
Need a
Hi.
fix?
I do. Give me the red sweetness. I can't buy any more. Alright. Cheers. Okay, so we gotta, I won't massively go out of my way for all cosmetics in games, but devs do it when they're super cool. Like, when they're cool, you're like, I do want these. Get what I want, and you stay there. Like, it makes sense. I can see why, like, people just stay with one once they've got them. Because I guess I do the same as well, but... So... Let's actually use our brain. The prince would appreciate you... No, I want Santa Monica. Medical clinic too. So we're in the medical clinic. I just gotta figure out where they're keeping the werewolf blood. You can usually see where the player characters have been. Just follow the trail of destruction. That is fun. I'm so glad they don't despawn. Sell any weapons you don't use, you'll pick them up again 100 times. I meant to keep doing that, Mr. Vinland, and then I just was like, oh my god, pick it up again and sell it again because there were so many knives around me, so I just kept moving on. But I should be doing it, if only so I can have even more money not to spend. I like having a fortune. It's great. Though the Elder Scrolls I tend to end up with armors really undervalued compared to what I should be wearing. Ebony, steel plate, silver, mithril are just too nice looking. You're like, these just look good. I don't want the other armor. These look nice. And that's fair. Like, nice armor is nice armor. I don't need to do that. There seemed to be testing downstairs when that woman was, that female vampire was, being all tested on. Maybe it's down there with her. I should... I'm wondering, should I ask around? Would this computer... Maybe the computers have cadavers? No. No, don't do that. This fun room. Okay, let's crawl through this wall. If you're lost, the testing is done upstairs. Some set of stairs you use to get down, but the other way. Oh, there's actually upstairs, Barry? I was thinking it would be somewhere down here, like maybe in that room where they, were testing the vampire, well, draining the vampire chick, the thing that they were doing to her. That's what my thinking was, but you're saying it's actually upstairs. Thank you, Barry. What's that? Malcolm's office key. It was there all along. When you say it's upstairs, Barry... Same set of stairs you used to get down, but the other way. So I use these to get down, but there's no up. So are you saying it's on this level? Already opened that door. That's the administration. That just goes there. So not down, but up. It's not down, it's up. No, I can't kill them, they're innocents. Also, for role-playing reasons, which tend to really steer what your character wears in Elder Scroll games especially. That's true, that's very true, isn't it? Other stairs. Ooh, hang on. Have I... They're all got the recur. So it should be the stairs near the back entrance, if that helps. These ones, then. These are the stairs. There we go. Hooray! We got there, guys. There's lockpicking to be had. Hopefully I can get through. Okay, good. It wasn't a very hard lockpick at all. Why, hello, other room. And doors to lockpick. I'm just, like, standing here opening this. I'm like, what's the bet I've gone a different pair of stairs? I'm a dwarf in Skyrim at the moment, going to be on a thermal killing spree soon. In the game, if you're a dwarf in Skyrim, so in Overwatch, when you're Torbjorn, you're physically shorter than everyone, and it shows on your screen you're shorter. You get less view height. Do they do that in Skyrim? Like, if you're a short race, are you visually, like, when you're playing, do you actually, like, remain shorter than everyone else? Like the game actually lowers the view of what you can see physically? Or do they just do that? No, everyone sees the same height.
The moon is melting.
Dwarfism, a mod for Skyrim, and yes. Oh, it's a mod! Okay. Unlock. And that was just the CS cat. What about home? Hume. And that's the... Did I open the... I thought I opened the door. Hang on. Unlock. And home.
Stop.
Okay, I think everything... Stop doing that.
Be too pleased.
What is the weirdest race that they modded into Skyrim? Thirsty. Thirsty. Gotta be careful, don't eat him. There we go. He didn't give it.
This area is for hospital staff only.
Your face belongs in movies, not security. I am a key ring. Feed me, then you can see me.
You can let yourself out.
Much thanks. I am a key ring. Feed me, then you can see me. Too many to count. Tell us there's too many mods for Skyrim. That's great. There's a Naruto mod for Skyrim. Ninja Race is the weirdest. Okay, yeah, no, that would probably be accurate. Ninja Race. I didn't mean to do a blood buff. Well, since you've been shooting at me. We've only lost a little humanity. It's fine. Playable. I meant playable races. Yes, playable races. Take one before relations. Allow 6 to 8 hours for swelling to subside.
Congealing at the door.
Okay. Well, the police seem mad. We're just going to ignore the police for now. I don't think they're important. Ooh, pizza that we can't eat. Ooh. Hi, Jason. Can you reset Malcolm's password for me? He wants it set to Panacea. Well. I like how we've already done everything that we're getting keys and stuff for. Oh, lore-wise. The playable races, yeah. Goblin or Minotaur are the weirdest I've come across so far. That you can play as. You can play as a Minotaur. That would be fun. Camera. Now the LA cops are out to get you. Only they're allowed to steal drugs like that. Exactly. They're angry because I've gotten their drugs and they want their drugs. And I'm like, no, I'm the one with the drugs. I don't think I will.
Souls draped in rotten tatters and father dances in the dark.
Well, no, I don't think I will. Like, if you really wanted me, you would come in here, but you're not. So I guess you don't really want me that much. Ah, my old nemesis, the door. Ah, we got the werewolf blood, everybody. Fantastic. So, I guess now we just have to get out of the building. This will be fine. You have retrieved the werewolf blood from the medical clinic. Put in your mailbox to send it to LaCroix. I assume any mailbox would do, so even the mailbox here. With mods, yes, but Vanilla Skyrim does have its playable races, and they have their own unique traits. I don't know. I'm wondering what race I'm going to go when I play Skyrim. I don't know which one I want to go yet. So we can put it anywhere. We've got to return to your haven. Are they actually out here, the cops? Yes. Ooh, you know what I can do? Goodbye, police officers. I'm going this way. I assume that I have a mailbox somewhere around here. I don't recall ever seeing a mailbox. But Skyrim does have one up from Oblivion tells us you can be a cannibal. I'm so excited to return to cannibalism. I absolutely cannot wait. That is going to be quite a lot of fun. Alright, well I should be safe in here from the silly cops. Download Malkavian mod for Skyrim and continue the carry. Oh wait, hang on, there's a Malkavian mod for Skyrim! That's awesome! The races are the same as in Oblivion tells, they just messed with the race-specific talents and how it works. Oh, okay. Mysterious fire incinerates historic Los Angeles home. But, from the sounds of it, I can become a Malkavian. We could continue this, Jeff. There's no mailbox here. I'm guessing it's the mailbox back in the other place then. None of this looks like a mailbox to me. There's no Malkavian mod, but it was fun to dream about from it. It really was, Mr. Vinland. You quite right teased me there. I was quite excited. I was like, what? Like, I was like, what a crossover and what a coincidence that there's a crossover of it. I was very excited. It's near the front door. The mailbox is inside near the front door. Inside my front door or the apartment building front door, Barry? Enjoy the lag as I go back and forth missing it because, oh, there you are. The tiny little boxes to my left. Gotcha. Dunker.
Cemetery runoff congealing at the door. Cemetery runoff.
I did pick up the vial of blood, right?
At the door.
Did it automatically put it in? Are you... you're under quest items, got you. Or whatever this... Oh, you're just a different... You know what? Here, just take it. What is this? Heavy Fang could only belong to a vicious proto-beast. You feel at ease knowing there's one less those and okay. Cool. We did it! It's in the apartment building. It's just the small boxes to the left there. I was like, I must be walking by it. Masquerade Redemption! Like, I even let myself have a masquerade and it got taken away again. It seems like it's actually quite difficult to, Whoa. That person just went zipping by. Did you guys see that person just go zipping by? That was crazy. It seems like it's actually quite difficult to get the masquerade violations all the way up unless you're going out of your way to do it. Is how I feel, at least. Because I seem to keep getting forgiven. A good thing too. It's a good thing too that it's quite hard. I imagine like obviously that's game over, right? Once you've done all the masquerade violations, the game is like, you're a very bad vampire and it's time for you to die. Bad vampire. But I was kind of looking forward to being attacked by vampire hunters, to be quite frank. But that never happened. Body functions denied for me for now. Just drive. Museum time, everybody. It's all pretty forgiving. It's fairly forgiving. Like, it does seem like, because it's being told about apparently a lot of people save scum. And I'm just like, there's not really a need to save scum that hard with the masquerade things. Like, obviously I'm doing some save scumming, but I like to think I'm not doing total save scumming, but, you know. I'm sure you could arrange it. Just bite a few people with witnesses. True, the hunters would really appreciate that. Due to unforeseen, though fortunate circumstances, the business of Madame Liotta has been translocated on top of Santa Monica Pier. Everyone keeps moving locations. So the taxi just waits there. Can I go around the taxi? The game doesn't like it that I'm trying to do that. The game disenjoys me walking around the taxi. I'm And hello, Ronan. How are you going? You forgot about the stream. Well, don't worry, Ronan. You turned up to see part of the stream, and I super duper appreciate that. How are you going, Ronan? What captured your mind that you're having so much fun? There's a Velociraptor that you're having so much fun with. There's a Velociraptor, everyone. I'm so happy. Look at this. October to December. This is the best. I love this. I love when museums have displays like this. There was one time in Sydney they did a woolly mammoth display, and I flew down to see it. It was so good. They had like life-size built woolly mammoths and like actual bones and stuff from them. It was such a cool display. I love it. I love dinosaur ones as well. In Queensland, they used to have... There's a museum in Queensland, and it's like a fantastic museum. It's one of my favorite museums that I've been to. Because they had like this huge dinosaur section. And they had like actual dinosaur, like animatronics and everything like that. And it was so good. They actually have key... cassowary animatronics in the museum as well. It's really sad though, because the cassowary animatronics they have like this giant area set up, and this is like a 10 meter exhibit in the zoo of for those who don't know, cassowaries are giant birds in Australia that kill people. They're smaller than emus but deadlier than emus and most things. They're like one of the deadliest birds in the world, if not the deadliest, I think. But basically they've got giant claws. They disembowel you. It's great. But they have like this 10-meter display of these cassowaries, and like they're like life-size cassowaries. And you've got one cassowary that's standing in the bush, and it's all like cassowary noises. And then you've got like little baby cassowaries by its feet. But then you have a dead cassowary on the floor next to it because it's been hit by a car. And the entire exhibit is basically, the message is like, don't you hit the wildlife of Australia, that's very bad of you, because Australians don't like it when you run over our native wildlife. We get very sad about that. And so the museum has this giant exhibit built so you understand cassowaries, but also they've murdered a cassowary and it's dead. The reason it was on the road, because they have this built into the exhibit, is it was eating chips, like hot potato chips that someone had dropped on the road, and so it doubles as another thing. It's also, and don't litter because the wildlife will eat it. So if you're eating chips, don't throw them on the road because you're going to get a cassowary killed, and then its baby cassowaries are going to be sad, and now its parent has no partner, and you did that. You killed a cassowary when you littered your french fries. So bad people. But anyway, it's a great exhibit and I love it. This has been my TED Talk about Australian museums. You were playing Albion Online. It's like Diablo, but somehow managed to capture my attention span. I've been playing it every day. I close my eyes and see AoE attack markers. I'm so glad you're having fun with it, Ronan. You'd mentioned that you'd got into it and it was very cool. And I've seen you pop up on my Steam a couple of times with it. And I'm like, oh, they seem to be really enjoying that game. Are those the giant birds that Australia lost a war with? No, those are the emus, knife crazy. Those are the emus, and we lost the war because they're tough jerk faces. You can shoot them and they keep going. And the thing is, the emus weren't even attacking people. It's just that we wanted to murder the emus. But the emus were like, good luck with that, mate. We're going to GTFO. We get upset about hitting wildlife. I always thought the worry was because everything can destroy a vehicle. You've got the two sides of it, Electro. You've got the people who are practical, and they're the one people driving around, and they get upset because everything you hit, like a wombat, destroys your car. And then you've got the other side of the Australians who are basically, let's preserve the wildlife of Australia because our bushfires keep murdering them, because even though we're supposed to have bushfires, we're having too many because we're dickheads keep setting them off. Oh no, it's like California. So, which again, you did that to yourself, California. Can I just point that out? You took the gum trees from Australia and you put that there. That was very silly of you. You've done, this is your fault. Australia is meant to be on fire. America, you're not meant to do that. You took one of our most dangerous ecosystems and transported that. You have no one to blame but yourselves. If we'd gone to war against cassowaries, we would have lost our cities too. That's true. We would have entirely lost our cities if we'd gone to war against the cassowaries. No, with the army they sent to deal with the emus were 4 guys with the Lewis gun. Basically 4 guys in one of the world's worst images. They actually sent more people, Ronan. They actually had more people involved, especially towards the... I'm so happy. Look at it. That is the most delightful mild jump scare I've ever seen. Wouldn't be humans if they weren't constantly shooting themselves in the foot. Exactly, exactly. That's humanity. Humanity is shooting yourself in the foot. You know you're human when you've made things worse for yourself. That would have been an amazing jump scare, Shadow, if that had happened just as I turned the corner for this fellow. This is the happiest looking Velociraptor I've seen in quite a while. I want him to have a little party hat. What's this sign say? Damned funny. You scared me the crap out of the cleaning crew. Now would you put the damned raptor back in its exhibit? Oh, and don't leave your keys lying around or Marshall will fire your ass. I was waiting for this encounter. This is adorable. This is such an adorable little picture. Little model. It's more. I'm so happy. What a lovely place. If that thing moves, I say kill it. I say ride it, Ronan. If that thing moves, ride it. I would love to ride it. There was a series of books. Dinotopia? Was it Dinotopia? Do you guys remember that series of books where humans lived as long dinosaurs and you could ride the dinosaurs in there? Like, humans would have like a dinosaur partner. And there was actually a side series of it where they would ride, like you could ride the T-Rexes and stuff. Nom 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 nom. Just some nice fresh blood. There we go. Oh, he just shook that off, didn't he? He didn't give a damn. Otter! Tell us, have you played Dinosaur Crisis? I have not played Dinosaur Crisis. Dino Crisis. Should I play Dino Crisis? Yep, I remember this, and they made it into a movie as well. It scared the hell out of me and is hella creepy. You don't like it, Ronan! Why don't you like it? All of this.
Hey, hold it.
Well, you've made this difficult for me, haven't you? Okay, maybe I'll try back to the point where I can go and secretly come through. I think that might be the better option. Actually, do you know what? I think what we might do is I might end up calling the stream here and we can save this area for tomorrow because I think this will be a fun... I think this will be a fun place to pick up. I need to stop doing that. I need to stop using my, my goddamn I just accidentally keep clicking the right button. We're going to save because I think this is the perfect spot. Jeff takes over the dinos. That would be a great note for me to come back to. Excellent. So we will call it there. Definitely Dino Crisis is awesome. Imagine Resident Evil with raptors instead of zombies and time-traveling plot. That sounds amazing! That sounds like something I need to play now. That sounds great. I love that idea, because I was expecting a damn Velociraptor attack mode around the corner. That's the fun of the Velociraptor though, Ronan, is that it comes just around the corner. That's how you know it's a good Velociraptor. A bad Velociraptor. Alright, bad joke. A bad joke, everybody. Let's get ready for the bad joke. So yay or nay if you think this joke is funny.
What do you call a factory that makes okay products? A satisfactory.
I like that. That is a fantastic joke. Whoever did that, it's not coming up for the TTS, but that was very, very funny. The product that makes it okay. Was that you, Shadow? That was very, very funny. I like that joke. It's not come up in my stream. Normally it tells me who does the TTS. It hasn't this time. It was you. It was very funny. I liked that one. That wasn't a bad joke. It was a good joke. And Clever Girl. Clever Girl is the best... One of the best Jurassic Park lines ever, Knife Crazy. I like to say Clever Girl all the time. Vote eyes. Sound alerts being weird. Sound alerts being weird. So, this is the bad joke you asked for. Oh, and I am really, really sorry for anyone who wanted to do any art redemptions as well. They are going to be off for the time being. I did say it earlier to Shadow in the Discord. But his redemption's going to take a while. I've actually managed to injure my arm. So, I can't... I can do video games with this brace, but my other brace, not at all. And it hurts very much when I have to write or draw, so that's very frustrating. But, bad joke. Why did the koala fall out of the tree? That's very timely. We're just talking about Australian animals. Because it was dead. Why did the koala fall out of the tree? Because it was dead. Yay or nay? I like that one because I hate koalas, so I'm saying yay for that one. But what about yourselves? Poll, should we go for another hour? Yay or nay? Just another hour, everyone. What happened to my arm? Basically, I'm an idiot, Ronan. I'm one of those people that, like, because my body always hurts for various reasons. I don't really notice when bad pain happens, and I just tend to push through pain. So if I get injured, I'm like, oh, that's fine. I sort of shrug off the damage and keep going. In this case, I managed to do something at work where I suspect it was the 15 kilo of batteries I was carrying in one hand, which was this hand. There was like a bag of it that I was carrying, and I had to carry it a very, very long distance. And basically what's happened is it strained one of the tendons in my hand. It's basically like inflamed it quite large. So my grip, when I go to grip stuff, it hurts. So if you like try to hold like a pencil or a pen and you exert that pressure, it basically hurts down my arm. So unfortunately I have to wear like a brace and everything now for the next couple of weeks. It's sort of like, imagine if you sprained your ankle kind of in your hand, is how the doctor was explaining it to me. So I'm looking about the same recovery time. So it's very, very annoying, and I'm very mad about it. But it's only my fault, I guess. Your joke was better, Shadow. You are correct. But I do hate koalas. And check up on Dino Crisis. Tell us one of the best survival horror games and the only survival horror dino game I know from Resident Evil 1 era. I'm going to have to, Lemons. But Barry, I'm assuming Barry has already made a note because that sounds like a very fun game. And I'll probably stream it by the sounds of it. Ouch, there's never fun. It's never fun. It's just an annoying injury and you're like, ugh, why? But a giant thing. Well, obviously we'll be back tomorrow, like I said, with more of the fun of Masquerade. We'll destroy that museum tomorrow. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be great. Hopefully more dinosaurs, and I'll probably tell you more facts about the museums I've been to, because I can, because I have the microphone and I hold you hostage while you willingly stay here, so that's your fault. Thank you, Barry. Already noted. But yes, there was something I was going to say, and my brain smelted, so that's gone. But a big thank you to Tweedark and Killer Bean for the raids as well. It was very awesome of you both. A giant thank you for those who jumped in, watched me, hang out with me during this playthrough, and to those who do just lurk or do just watch the VODs as well. I do super duper appreciate that. And also, once again, a giant shout out to Lunch Snake and the anonymous gifter for the gifted subs there, and the resub on Lunch Snake's part. But thank you so much for that, guys. I really do appreciate it. And Onyx is the Onyx Path as well. Thank you for the cheer. Hello, by the way. I hope you're going well. But thank you so much for the cheer. I assume it's the wonderful cheer for the murder of the Masquerade. I've got to say, I do not regret going Malkavian whatsoever. I think that was one of the best choices I've made in gaming. Even though everyone says don't do it, I think it's matched perfectly for my personality. I don't just suggest that, Paul, with the intent to convince you to go for another hour, and I say this with the most love. Go rest your arm, you dummy. The thing is, with the games, it's okay. With the games, it's okay because I'm not having to do a gripping motion. I can just move the mouse around. As long as I wear this brace. The other brace, I've got a bigger, heavier duty brace that goes down to like here on my arm, and it has like a proper thing, and the brace stick comes to about there. So if I try to use that with my mouse, the mouse gets chased away and I have to chase it. So it's kind of like like if someone had attached a carrot over me, like those horses where you put like a stick and a carrot on the end and the horse follows the carrot. It's like that, but my hand on the mouse because I can't quite grip it. It's quite funny. Malkies are the most fun. They are the most fun. And yes, thank you all. Sorry you're only just joining at the end. Yes, sorry Onyx that you've just joined at the end, but thank you again so much for the lovely bits. Also a big thank you as well to that hype train you guys had going on. I almost forgot about that. I'm an asshole. But thank you for the hype train as well. Before I keep talking on forever, you all have an absolutely fantastic rest of your time zone, or wherever you all are, and I will catch you tomorrow for more Malkavian madness.